Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for waiting. We understand, obviously, you've been very patient whilst this game was getting sorted. We had an issue with one of the players' internet/power going out their house, so they had to relocate, I believe, at their brother's house for the game. But we're now ready to get underway. The odds are up on screen from Betway for this. Well, we can begin to kick it off. Joined, of course, by Benjamin SEO Doughty. How have you been, Ben?
Been good. Yeah, not ideal to start the day off with a delay, but sometimes these things happen, right? And thankfully, it could have been a much more sad affair, I guess, in the sense that he could have had to just not play at all, and they could have had to get a stand-in.
Yeah.
They've arrived. Everybody's on the server, ready to kick it all off.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, at least the game is still going on. And straight into action. XC Power kicks it off with the USPs. He slays Bit with his Glock. Already, it's looking like a nice opening round here on Dust 2 for the Navi Junior squad.
Yeah, the B-bomb site in Dust 2, of course, probably one of the hardest ones to retake. Topa in a very good position here. He needs some backup, though. He's already quite low. Gets the third kill of the round, and then Gospoda here to cover him as well, and he gets the second. So, pretty clean round. They lose one player. Topa and Gospoda, they drop multi-kill rounds to themselves. 1-0 to start things off. So, Navi Junior, this is their pick. Worth noting as well. So, top right, you can see that too. Nice little graphic showing the team's picks and which side that they technically do start on. So Dust 2 and Mirage will be our 3 maps as well. So most people will be obviously considering, forZe are the favourites. XC Power, that's a lovely shot. XC Power, obviously one of the big names to talk about as well across the board with an AWP normally. Be interesting to see how he does in this one.
Oh, taking out mid with a scout early on, gets a little bit of contact. Not too much off the back. I mean, if you can bait them in, it'll do all of the work, you'd imagine, with this hand cannon. An easy first frag to find. Looks for the trade into the second, but it's not going to work out too well. So, Navi Junior, I mean, the best they can hope for it's this round now, it just seems is going to be economic damage, as they've been absolutely overthrown. They've been rumbled so far. Carpaccio goes down as well, and it's just left on Topa with his AK. This has been a horrific affair straight into the follow-up, Ben. No conversion round, and no survivors seems to be what is going to be going through for Navi.
Yeah, this is normally the curse you have on the CT side of things, right? The side that you really get destroyed when it comes to actually losing the second round. So he'll probably get a plant here at the best, but we can see Jerry or... Jerry's already right behind him, and we're just starting immediately with...
Oh, no! Oh! He stabbed him, Ben. He's butchered him.
Left clicks as well. Full just slice.
Oh, mate. That's the worrying fact, right? They came into it, it's like, cool. Like, great opening round for Navi Junior. They're going to be feeling themselves off the back of the pistol. Obviously, a great way to start the day after a delay, right? Nah. Shanked to death, stabbed in the back multiple times by a man left clicking you whilst you're there. Oh.
You're the fun and the bomb. It was like, why are you doing this?
Please.
Why?
Please. It's been half an hour. Put the knife away. Oh, man. Right, 1-1 then. Navi Junior, of course, forced back onto the Glocks into the following rounds. This is where forZe are looking to just make some money. All of those rifles. They've got the AKs that they're scavengers. They've got the Galoo in play as well. Flip once again in the same angle, looking to run the same shenanigans. And causes a bit of a mockery out of the two players that push towards him. Shutting them down. Here comes the conversion from the rest of the players as well. They all burst out. And they overthrow. Only losing one man in XC Power. The rest of them staying alive. So, pretty clean round, relatively, there from the CT side.
Yeah, a nice cleanup across the board, really. Losing one person. Not ideally, but at least he didn't have an AWP, I guess, the main thing. Speaking of the AWP, though, he does have it out now, and Gospoda, I assume he's the actual before the Navi Junior side. He's got a scout, so not ideal, but the long battle's already begun. Straight out along, Topa gets 2. But actually, you can see XC Power, he actually abandons ship there, fully pulls away. So long is taken, but they've taken a lot of utility to actually get this map control to start with. Question is, can they do much more? Jerry should boost XC Power up here.
Okay, nice repositioning. At least he's on the site. He's obviously got the range advantage to work with, and ideally, he should come out on top. He's got the better firepower, potentially the upper hand. Here comes the smoke from the cross, the T's. Getting ready to make their move. Power. Focusing on the angle, just waiting for the push to come towards him. They've all actually pushed up close against the wall. They've walked past the smoke, and they are coming up towards ramp. They get into a good angle to do some work, and they claim the site. They force back all of the CTs. Jerry's the only one that holds around for the meantime. Power's coming back in. Can boost him up. Ideally, he needs to get a frag off the back of this, but he doesn't spot them out. Bit's able to adjust, assassinates him with the AK. Flit in the meantime, sends one of them off to the Burns ward. We're left into a 3 versus 2 retake.
Yeah, 3v2 retake on that A site. Flit is coming around from long, so there is still a chance that he gets a flank on here, but he probably needs to get at least 2. That's the kind of crazy bit. Power doesn't have much to do. He can flash for him. That's it. Flit comes out of the peak, but the trade is immediate. Power, that's going to be a save call. They do have decent money in the bank as well, so it's not like he needs to force this scenario.
Ooh.
They did give him a chance, though. They really did give him a chance.
They were peeking it. They did just keep facing. It's unlucky, because like that round could have gone completely differently as well. Obviously, when he walked out on long, they were playing anti-flash. He nearly got the frag onto that close player. Could have been a different scenario if we saw that opening shot being hit by Power. Instead, bit of a stalemate. At least he saves the AWP. Certainly could have been much, much worse for the CT side. So Navi Jr. are going to be happy walking away with that round into the bank, taking us 2-2 apiece here.
Yeah, and obviously, as I said, the money's actually in a really good spot, so they start to buy. Still a scout on Gospoda though, so I'll be interested to see if that will get contact, I guess. We haven't seen the, AWPers go head to head just yet.
Power goes down immediately. Start of the round, that's the AWP and a critical part of the CT side defense already blown to pieces.
A solo play as well, like on his own, no support, nobody there to aid him, whether it's a flashbang, anything like that. So kind of unusual in my eyes. It feels a bit silly to some extent, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what actually happens with that, I suppose.
This is the initial shot with the AWP. It gets the read, at least, knowing 2 of the CTs have crossed back over at A site. Everyone's grouped there. It's actually all 4 of the remaining players alive on the CT side for forZe. 2 of them towards long. Slow push up from Flit, hoping to get into position back over the ramp. Alamaza should get contact at middle as well. Fires out the warning shot as Capaccio across. Here comes the burst. The contact play. They are hoping to set their sights towards the A site. Little flashbang it, just to delay and waste a few seconds. Time is of the essence as well. Only around 20 seconds left for them to push their way up and overwhelm him. Good damage done. They go 1 for 1 on the trades initially, but Flit is doing all of the work from the back of the site, playing from ramp and running rampant against the oncoming train of T's. And Kore responds, but it's nowhere near enough. forZe's defense far too strong against the oncoming Na'Vi squad.
Yeah, really nice utility usage there across the board, right? Jerry kept that Molotov, put it straight onto the actual plant zone, so they had to swing towards Flit, and obviously he gets both those kills and some more damage too. So Navi Jr. lose out the round, and they're sat in these awkward spots where they're not having to, or not feeling like they should force back into it. Like we've got, Topa has a flashbang, so this is just gonna be a long burst. And fortunately for forZe, there's nobody actually playing here other than from site. So this should be a nice little cleanup, really, from Face Crack. Let's see if he can crack some heads.
Oh yeah, from an angle like this with an M4, surely it's just a spray down on a momentous occasion for the man. Flit's going to get the majority of them though. Face Crack only walking away with 2. That's pretty good. Nearly a flawless round from forZe. Obviously, we're hoping to not have any casualties. It's up. Shouldn't matter too much. They can buy back into it. Power still has the AWP. Well, relatively good CT side start from forZe.
Yeah, be interested to see if there's more like team play involved here, though. So we see Power again boosted up towards short. Maybe this time going to use a boost to get the lower play. Yes, they are, but he's already. Look how quick this is. They're just going straight out mid to B. That's incredibly quick, and they get a kill for it. Alamaza, he just had his knife out. There was no way he had any reason to expect that sort of play, especially when his teammates were boosting on short to C lower. So Flit is now pretty much that lone man on an island here. He has to get at least 2 to make a chance happen.
They're pushing in towards the site. He does a lot. Very good defense put up so far. The response from Bit, flawless. Flicks around with the Kalashnikov and beheads Face Crack, making him live up to his name as he's left slumped down on the ground. Bit just playing the anti-flash angle as well, tucked in towards the box. All of a sudden, there's only one man left. The power. 1 versus 2. The angle is being watched. He pushes through window. Should be set up on a date with the coroner almost immediately. But now he's just playing off the audio cues, waiting for the opportunity. If he would have landed that, it could have completely changed the course of the clutch. Instead, he's still destined to be up struggle street on this one. There's not really too much he can do, but he plays the confidence factor, charges in, turns it into the one-on-one. He wasn't able to get over the final hurdle, falling at the end there.
I'm amazed he got as far in as he did.
I don't know how he was allowed to.
He just ran in. But nevertheless, I mean, I did say Flit, he needed to get 2 right on that BA hold. He got 1 and some damage, which, to be fair, the damage did allow, I believe it was Face Crack that ran into the site to try and get some kills back. Okay, this is an interesting one. So they've actually gone for the hero AWP. So Exy Power has the AWP. Jerry did have an MP9, but, you know, there's not too much you can do when you're just an MP9 running towards long on your own. Let's see what Exy Power can do, though.
Sets up from behind car. Got a small amount of support as well. Facecracker only has a deagle, but he's playing anti-flash, so potentially he could be his guardian angel. Although this man's looking a bit more like a guardian right now. Flicks out with the AWP, gets the first. Facecrack does damage onto the follow-up, and it's all about Carpaccio with the Galil. Causing some greatness with that firearm. Flit. Oh, the sneaky man barely gets his grasp onto the AWP. He's able to back up slightly. Potentially the call might just be to save the weapon, as this round looks to be too far gone, especially when Norcore gets the kill onto Alamaza. But at this point, it is just going to be a save, surely.
Yeah, the AWP's of great value, especially when you consider it was just the sole investment, right? So keep a hold of that. But you got what, 1900 loss bonus? They're not actually in a position to buy, if I'm perfectly honest, though. Like, the cash is pretty sparse across the board. Facecrack lost 6,000, which is great. But you consider Flit will have 4,100. He can give the AWP back to Exy Power. They probably will buy, because they can make some sort of struggle buy out of it. It's just not ideal. Not ideal.
No, it's not going to be great. Certainly won't be whatsoever. Curious to see what actually got.
Let's see. So Jerry gets an MP9 again. It seems like... Okay, so they're being a bit unorthodox to some degree, right? There's some MP9s being bought with the armor. The Eagle armor. Basically a low buy. Just instead of having, yeah, like an M4 or FAMAS or something, they've just gone for a bit of a mixture. Not a good start, though, with Exy Power taking that tag right at the start.
Dropping him down to 20 HP. I mean, at least it was on Exy Power, so he can still hold on to the AWP and be proficient with the weapon. Although, if he peeks out here, the risk he runs is the angle's being held. He'll peek straight into it. And that's another easy opening frag. Another first kill going the way of Na'Vi, and they weren't content with just one, Ben, as Topa cuts his way through Jerry. Face Crack looks to have his face cracked, as he will. It's the assailant with the AK. Again, it's another very fast round from Na'Vi Jr. They're breezing through these.
And really not having to do too much work, are they? They're kind of just holding steady, and then forZe are giving them the kills. forZe are making the mistakes. Not much is changing here. So Almeza just on his own with his MP9. He's already been seen here. So it's just a case of time, really. Hoping somebody will come close range where they know, like, we don't need to do anything like this. We don't need to risk anything. We can just hold on a sec.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, it's only an MP9, but if you can still hold on to it, keep yourself alive and not give away any additional funds to the terrorist side, that is the best possible outcome. It'll hold. Dream scenario is, of course, they push in, he gets the lucky dink off into the head and finds himself with a bit of extra cash out of this round. That would be the blessing. Navi Jr. know better than that. Keep themselves reserved. Keep it clean. They finally get the advantage. 4-5 as we're 10 rounds into the game now. XE Power back on the AWP. We need to see a little bit more from him. Some of the aggressive angles he's been walking into, I mean, they haven't really favoured him, Ben. And it's not been favouring the way forZe have played their CT side whatsoever.
Yeah, it's really not been ideal from it. We saw on Care they actually go for the long pick with the AWP, just based on his spawn. Didn't quite get the success that he wanted. FaceCrack was there before him. So long control is achieved. Much more stagnant CT side here from forZe then. So less risks, you know, just making sure they actually just play steady. Let them make the mistake instead. Like, we've been forcing the play over and over. There's no need. Let's see. So Navi Jr. having to slow down a lot more here. Looks like short control is the plan. They know long was taken by the CT, so it's pretty safe to assume there's nobody on short. But XE Power is there with his AWP on the angle. So it'll have to be a good flash if they do go for it. Ooh. So they flash it and they crouch under.
That was nice. Very stealthy. They're able to move up. They get into a close angle. That smoke will force him out of the shocks the angle as well. It's not going to be as proficient for him to hold it. So XE Power has to run. Drops back. Close towards car. Flashes over the wall. So if they had pushed out, they would have at least been stunted. Potentially blind from it. And here comes that incoming utility. Hoping to block off all of the lines of sight. Leave everyone on the CT side feeling very claustrophobic. They believe it to be an AP, but in reality, they're going out through middle. This is an awkward encounter between Jerry, though. He's not getting the shots off, Ben. His teammates are dying around him as well. He's still spamming, getting a few tags here and there, but not quite converting them into the kills. He needs to clear his close right. He won't. Bit swings. Bit cuts him to pieces. Still ready for the adjustment on FaceCrack. A very clean headshot. They'll knock him clean off his feet, and it's all on XE Power. Gets the opening, but he still has 2 more to find. Doesn't have a kit. Doesn't have an awful lot of time either. Seems like actually, again, opting to just back off. Save the AWP. Keep that weapon in rotation. For another round where Navi Jr. really leaving it up into the air of fate with some of the plays they're making, but still bringing home the bacon on that one, Ben. It will go 6-4.
Yeah, I can't help but feel like Jerry did whiff in that.
It could have been 2 kills. Like, from the angle he was in, he suddenly realised that obviously it was just a ruse towards A, right? He was in a prime time angle for it, but just didn't get the shots off.
It's a neat little graphic being shown there with the actual scoreboard. It's a fancy one. I haven't seen one quite like that before.
Well, it looks quite nice.
Yeah, quite tidy. So let's see. Capacho this time being given the AWP to actually go for the long pick. Does get there, but unfortunately does not land the shot. So they do like going for that pick if it's available based on spawn, which, to be fair, you might as well. Like, most of the time you're shooting blind anyway. So if you're able to get the shot and pull away, not take any damage, that's great. If you get the kill, even better. But forZe, it's very awkward. So there's a double AWP in play right now. Alamaze has picked up another one alongside XE Power's one. XE Power... Ooh. See, Navi Jr., they've been mollying behind the door, but then flashing through and having a little look. But the player who gets flashed through can't go further. There should be a free kill for XE Power, but he moves just at the last second. Not been a great one so far. I mean, it feels like they're just making the wrong play every single time so far.
Balls have been letting them down. Still, 2 AWPs up for forZe. One on Flip, one on Alamaza. Have any opportunity to really use them. FaceCrack will be tested the most, it seems, as he plays behind default here on A site. Once again, same play from Navi. The smokes go out. FaceCrack jumps on top of the box, playing above Gandalf. I think they saw his foot as he bounced up, so they were ready for it. Hoper knocks him out of position. It's already been quite a rough and rude awakening for the forZe defense.
You can see the Navi Junior side actually knowing the tendencies there. So that position on top of the box has been used quite a lot, or at least I noticed it during the Road to Rio at least.
Yeah.
That position gets used quite a lot on the CIS side of things. You just look all the way into the corner, you hope, you know, they just don't check you at all, right? But they were actually just spamming him through the corner of the box. As soon as you shoot one bullet through it, you'll see the blood hit the wall. Alamaza shouldn't be able to keep his AWP as well, but surprisingly he does. So keeping this double AWP is kind of paramount. Even though the AWP hasn't done too much so far, they could have really done with keeping 2. That's unfortunate.
So costly. The amount of money they pumped into that as well, to not get a round out of it and only get 1 AWP back as their return on investment. It's unfortunate.
Not ideal. Not ideal whatsoever. We need to see more though. I mean, a pause makes sense, right? I mean, because right now momentum is completely shifted. It did like a forZe got themselves back into the game, right? They were 4-2 up. But since they did actually take that initial lead, it's kind of just been all Navi Junior, right? It's been a complete one-way affair.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the benefits as well. Obviously, quite a nice little addition to this HUD. You can see the fact there. 5-round streak in a row. 5 on the spin for Navi Junior. Brings home a little bit more of just how well they've been playing as soon as they got their rifles into their hands. Obviously, they won the pistol. There was the instant reset round that came out from forZe. We thought, okay, a bit more back to normal, kind of what we expected with the series. But no, Navi Junior. Their T-side's been looking very effective. It feels like there's been calls made from forZe right now, and XE Power especially, but they haven't really been backed up with confidence. And they've clearly not been working as well on some of the peaks he's been going for. We need to see something change on this CT side, Ben, but we're towards the end of the half anyway.
The concerning bit is, as well, we didn't exactly see the knife round, but we did see the result of it.
Yeah.
I believe forZe were the ones that won the knife. So they chose to start CT side. And obviously they're now looking at pretty much a lost half guaranteed, right? 7 rounds already won for Navi Junior. Likelihood is they'll get an 8th. Pretty concerning. Let's see. So this is another slow actual setup from forZe. Not making the play themselves this time either. Let's see how this one goes. Looks like it's just going to be an A take. Last time we saw this come through, Flit got 2 kills on the ramp and then there was a fast rotate behind. That is not going to be the case this time.
This has been the bread and butter play for Navi Junior. Time in, time out. We've seen it work. Oh, that is ridiculous. The shot coming through. Tagging Bit so much that when he impacts on the floor, he just breaks his knees. Need a trampoline to break his fall, or some water if he's a fan of Minecraft. At this point, though, Ben, they're down into the 4 versus 5. Make that the 4-on-4 as the instant response is back in. The A squad wakes up. There's only 3 players left alive now onto that T side. Bombs down. They're in post plants, but they have to hold. Could we actually have a good retake here from forZe? That's the big question. They're making their move up to the site. Surely they should have found these frags, but no, from behind the fire and the flames, the T side decimating them. XE Power comes online. The nades are cast out, hoping to blow back Capaccio and stop him from being able to push. He jumps onto the bomb. XE Power, he comes off it. Good timing, spots him, gets the clean trade back. 2 frags into the round and the defuse. And forZe make that one work, but they had to work for it. Work hard. Only 1 survivor.
Yeah, you mentioned the 2 kills. Don't forget the actual assist as well to start that off, right? He lands the leg shot just as they execute.
Yeah.
So effectively a 3k for the man, as well as the defuse. And that did go down to, what, the last second there?
That was close, yeah.
So let's see though. So Navi Junior changing it up a bit though. Look how quick this short take has been. They caught them off guard when they ran through mid to be quick, seeing if they can do the same on short. It is just Jerry on the actual bomb site right now with XE Power covering cross for him. Double AWP is out again though. So not Almeza with it this time. Flit as the second AWP. Navi Junior though, they seem set to do the exact same thing again though. All 5 players on short. Looking to do pretty much the exact same execute because they know they probably should have won that round, realistically. They were getting the kills that were needed. Might be a bit more of a burst player.
This is like the 4th or 5th time we've actually seen them go for this execute towards the A site as well. They're definitely confident in running it. Jerry, however, wrapped towards Goose, flashes over as he exposes around the back of the smoke. They've got clear vision to spot him. They've taken out both of the players that were defending here towards A. Now they're just left stranded really on an island towards middle. They're pushing 1 by 1. The solo aggression is not going to work out too well whatsoever. Face cracks overthrown. They might just save this one. Obviously, we're close towards the end of the half. You don't really have a lot of money. The risk you run of losing that AWP and not getting anything back if you go for this is way too slim. Na'Vi Jr. are going to push this to at least 8 rounds so far on their T side. This has been a fabulous start for them.
Yeah, but a really strong one this so far. Yeah, it's surprising a lot of people, obviously, because we saw the odds at the start. forZe very much, favourites in a heavy fashion. And you see, look how, patient they're actually being with the way they were holding them as well. They weren't even giving a chance for an exit to even occur. Like all 4 players surviving just stay on short. Nobody going past the actual mid mark. They just stay. Just like, okay, we don't need to lose rounds. But that is technically the 1/2 for them. 8 rounds achieved. We can see another short boost coming through. Let's see the bit caught them out. Oh, that Molotov should be perfect. Oh no, just on's a bit too far ahead. They might get a free kill here.
FaceCrack certainly could with the Deagle. He plays his cards right depending on the timing. Oh, it's a bit of an awkward struggle for him. Luckily, Jerry that dove down did the damage. Wanted to get a dastardly follow-up as well. But quite a few clean shots off, making Corey weak enough that the nade from Flip would blow him out of the server. And finally, we're back into a 3 versus 3. Level playing field here established.
Yeah, a bit of an aggressive style play. I mean, it does technically work out for a 2 for 2, so not too bad, I guess, considering it was what, CZ and Deagle.
Yeah.
But let's see how things go. They're 3v3. Na'Vi Jr. They have control of long. They did technically have short, but they didn't know it just yet. XE Power regaining that map control as well. Flit going towards mid. So forZe actually plans to just take some map control back because they need to take a risk here. However, look at the utility available to Na'Vi Jr. They can smoke this cross. They can absolutely destroy flashbangs over the wall as well if they need to. XE Power shouldn't be able to get anything done here.
Shouldn't. That's the big point. Let's see if there'll be an exclamation mark added to the end of that, though. Oh, that's certainly something being displayed by Topa. Gives him a free haircut, Ben, as he'll take him down. Follow-up frag coming out as well for Kapachow, as he'll instantly assault anyone that comes towards his bomb site. And Flit, again, something he's been doing this entire game, forced to save. There's no chance for him into the round here. Got to back off. Got to clutch onto this Kalashnikov and throw it in the towel. Once more, 5-9. Na'Vi Jr. are having an amazing B side. Everything's been flawless for them. And it's just been this A side so many times. If they're coming from long, if they're going up short, they have loved to get control of the A side, and the defense has fallen far too many times.
Yeah, it's been a pretty one-sided affair thus far. Considered 4-2 at one point in favour of forZe. Now 9-5. Last round of the half coming through. Will we see some Dak-Daks spamming the doors though? Come on. Topa's got 10 grand. Gospodar's got 9k. Get some more snipers out. Spam the doors. Spam the doors.
They have bought another AWP.
Yeah, that's not as fun though, is it? Although even then, one of the AWP's going for the long thing. The other one is watching the gap.
Just watching the cross.
Look at this aggression. This is the same thing again, but with rifles.
Okay. This could work out so well. FaceCrack's pushed up close enough. Sitting up by where Palm Tree used to be, just behind the barrels. I mean, unfortunately for him, obviously his teammate's already been slain, but alright. His spider sense is going to tingle. He'll flick back around, spotting towards lower tongues. Watches his teammate get decimated right before his very eyes, though. That's not a pretty sight for sore eyes, Ben.
I'm surprised his teammates haven't just stormed up long based on that play, right? You know, you've seen one person die there. You've traded the other one, and you know a third person was there. It's basically safe to assume there's nobody on A at that point. Instead, they actually go for a bit of a fake. Instead, they smoke the corner, they Molotov car, they rotate the players back off, so they're going to be going into Almeza's hands here. He's solo on B. We can always see Kapacho walking out. Can he find a kill there?
Alright.
No, he can't. Almeza holds it down.
It's a good defense so far. Got a small amount using. When I say small, I mean absolutely minute. Just one single flashbang to try and buy a bit more time for this guy. Time being the big point as well, as we've only got 30 seconds left into the round. Topa waltzing his way up short. Takes a couple of ticks from that Molotov. What? XT Power! Not only should he have fallen, but he stays alive, is able to get the adjustment off, fires off a shot from the AWP. FaceCrack in the meantime's dancing with the devil, and comes out on top as he kills 2 of them with the AK, Ben. I don't know how that's gone so bad for them when they were pushing out through short.
I'm kind of wondering why Topa bothered putting the Molotov out himself there. It felt like he could have definitely gone ahead of it and caught both players off guard on the CT side, right?
Well, especially when XCPower just wasn't watching it.
Yeah, like, he took an extra second, took some more damage, and then, because of the panic, I guess, whiffed some shots on XCPower towards, you know, the elevator area.
Yeah.
Let's see how things go though. 9-6, very quick half time because of that. forZe get long control for free. They've got 2 smokes, Molotov, and a flashbang. However, let's see if Gospoda can hold them down.
Well, they're about to bust through the door, waving the 4-4s. So let's see if they're going to leave him breathing no more. A couple of shots connected, leaving him at 24 HP as he's stuck behind those bags of rice. Let's see if they're going to put the pressure on this one, though. They get up close and personal. Topa from a distance, still doing work. He gets dinked. He's lost his teammate as well. XCPower upgrades back towards the USP. He has a little bit more stopping power to work with into the round. That's just what the doctor ordered, especially from Flit. Going ballistic with this Glock. Lays 2 of them, and it's all left on bit. 1 versus 2 retake into the round. Jumps up onto the elevated angle, spots out the head, but they both peek at the same time. The correct play to make. forZe. They take a much-needed pistol round to start to bring the game close. They could get this back towards a 9-9. They keep it clean going forward.
It's worth noting that actually was a 4v2 at one point though, in favour of Navi Jr. as well. So Flick gets those 2 kills as he's crossing, and that basically guarantees the round, right? Small bit of damage being exchanged. It's always very awkward battling scouts when they're doing that movement. Oh, he actually gets him. Oh, actually, so close to actually getting the second kill there as well. Can't imagine there's too much to be said of this round, because it feels like it's just been a case of we'll buy, but we've got no set plan. Which, you know, the teams do that quite a lot. I'm never a fan of it. It might as well, you know, if you're going to buy, make sure you're doing something with this force buy. You know you're not as heavy-handed as the other team.
Oh yeah, be proactive with it. I suppose that's kind of like the rule of thumb for everyone, right? Even if you go into an eco round, make sure you at least have a game plan. If that's going to be like a gamble stack, if that's going to be a gamble push, do something together as a squad. Chance of success is a lot higher than it would be otherwise. Lamaze up. Go through the window though, takes him down, overthrows him with the MP5. Game's starting to get ridiculously close as well. 1 round difference between how things have gone. Pause. They can win this one. We'll tie it back up. Get into round 18. Let's see if XCPower can repeat history once more with this scout. It looks like they might be going for a Mo strap, Ben. They're all grouped up towards mid. Molotovs and HEs being thrown towards them. Look at the amount of splash damage they're taking. Oh no. Clear. He was ready for it. He clears the close left angle. Kapachi out. More like Kapachi dead as they're just bludgeoned. XCPower to holding towards top mid with a scout. Sublime footwork, and Jerry cleans up, getting 2 frags on the MAC-10. Looking like Easy-E as he murders them.
Yeah, nice easy convert. It would have been nice to see the extra Mo strap come through.
I thought that's what they were going for, yeah.
It would have been nice to see it, but we never get to see these things anymore, do we? They never occur. Oh! That's just really filthy, actually.
Well, trying to make full use of the open skybox now towards that B site, chucking them out through tunnels as they sprint in towards the site. Face crack. One of the few times you really get to see that MP5 in action. There's a nice amount of groundwork. Already there's only 3 players left alive on the CT side. This retake is going to be hard as well. They're not going to go for it. Of course, there's no reason to. Just save.
Yeah, not much to be done here. Just a case of actually surviving. So, forZe actually take their first lead since being down 4-2 as well. Nice recovery from them so far. So it makes you wonder though, so obviously they chose to start on that CT side. Was that perhaps just to get the more difficult half out of the way first and then make the comeback happen on the T side? I do know some people, they prefer to be on T side in the second half because of the impact, because like when you're leading towards that overtime scenario potentially, it's much harder to be on the CT side because you have to make a lot more difficult decisions, I guess. Like you can control the tempo a lot more on the T side, you can do a lot more things with it. So perhaps that is the case. It does look like they're in a bit more of a comfortable position right now. Let's see how this goes.
Bit. Couple of connections through the smoke. That's an awful lot of damage done to the T's, but the frags that are being found are all in favor of forZe. Every one of them bite back. The
I'm just going to
bloodlust.
assume that Jerry swung with a deagle and just one takes the offer.
Yeah, I can imagine so, yeah.
Like, because he was the one getting spammed with the smokes. He was very low, but I've watched Jerry quite a bit at this point. He's not afraid to take any fight. He'll just swing when he needs to. So that's another save. Save again, I guess. Like, there's not much else to it.
It's already looking like it's been a bit of a tale of two halves between whoever's on that CT side, right? Just forced into saving rounds they don't really feel comfortable in. They start to make the opener look easy, and then all of a sudden there's a massive resurgence. Like, it's so unfortunate with Bit doing what? Maybe like 130 damage, bottom low. It looked like he had done more than enough to open up the round, and then they balls just burst. They charge like a group of barbarians towards long, overwhelm them. They force themselves into this position now, 11-9.
Yeah, taking a firm lead, really, because you consider, you've nearly got 5 players on 10k plus on the forZe side. Like, that's something you don't see every day. And now they can pretty much do what they want with them, right? It's only been 5 rounds on this half. To have 5 players on that much money, it's actually kind of scary, really. Especially now, because Navi Jr., they forced into this one. They played 4 players towards long just then. Jerry just put smoke on the corner and just flashed over once. That's all he did, and it caused them all to be there and waste a lot of utility. Let's see what forZe decides to go for this time, though.
They've left the bomb outside of tunnels for now, with the 3 players set up towards middle. Alamaz are just holding, watching long, expecting any potential pushes or the rotations from the CT side if they want to play a game of push and pull to gain that map control back from the Ts. CT side looking very timid though. After the rounds we've seen, confidence to go for any outrageous pushes or potentially throw a spanner into the works isn't really there. They're not wanting to be the ones to make the first mistakes. The rotation's coming back around from forZe. They've grabbed the bomb. It looks like they're setting up for a late round take towards long, potentially a split on the A side.
Yeah, with heading towards long, though, you need to make sure you take care of Topo without actually losing too many people, right? He's in that pit. He's only got a FAMAS as well, so he needs to do significant damage to actually get the kill. That's the first and then flash from his teammates will get him a second. And the dink towards Flit. He's done incredibly well there.
That's the dream scenario. It couldn't have gone physically any better for him with the amount of groundwork he's done. Setting his team up for success. At this point, it's all on Jerry. Jerry comes into the equation far too late. Team's already gone. He'll suffer the same fate. 10-11. Nicely played. Topa, MVP of the round there, really.
Yeah, holding a nice little off angle as well, right? He had the angle basically where if you're coming out along, you have to clear that right-hand side, like the very tight right-hand side. And the player swinging towards that direction just gets caught off guard. The flash came in at the perfect time as well. Didn't get the assist on it, but it definitely caused enough, distractions. But this is different though. Look how quick forZe are going out mid to B here. They're already out towards B ramp. In terms of map control, the CT's going to have to waste a lot of utility just trying to get that area back.
Also puts the added pressure on the B players. You can see a little bit more paranoia with the way they're playing it. More reserved, obviously focusing on mid, expecting this to be a mid to B play. Very early into the round as well. We're seeing a ton of utility used from either side. There's only 1 smoke that is left on play for the CTs. We've just hit the minute mark. It's not a good sign. Definitely shows that they were a little bit panicked by the opening commotion caused by forZe. forZe are grouped up. They're ready for it, and it seems like that split is certainly going to be the call. The slow contact play out through middle, face crack leading the charge. They're going to smoke CT and then bombard in towards B. Bit. Get around the smoke. Hustles and bustles. Here's the footsteps. Reacts with the spam through. Actually gets a clean kill onto face crack. But it's just the 1 versus the 3 frags that were found by Navi Jr.
It's quite interesting because none of the forZe players were actually watching that smoke. If he walks through, he probably gets 2, maybe 3 kills there, depending on the actual aim on it. Kind of fortunate on the forZe side, all things considered, but nevertheless, they get onto that B site. That early commotion. They had to waste so much utility early on because they didn't know if the C's were at B ramp. Bit was in CT and he didn't really regain the map control either. He just kind of sat there waiting, essentially for the second wave. So forZe take a 12-10 lead. That's the money, pretty much gone again. Natus Vincere will probably force into it. Don't get me wrong, but looking very good for forZe. That's for sure. A lot better on this T side compared to the CC.
Yeah, it's been the complete 180. Like, the role reversal has certainly come out for whoever's on that CT side, but you caught a glimpse of that for any of our eagle-eyed viewers at home. There's 2 AWPs now coming out for the Navi Junior side. This certainly could be a bit of a game changer. Maybe they can take some more ground as well, be a little bit more aggressive into the round here, because they've been playing so reserved, so timid. They've been giving up all of that map control for free. Oh no. I mean,
are they committing to it?
They're just going for this, Ben. forZe are sprinting straight in towards the B site. They're up against the AWP and the M4 that's on the scene. That man's instantly been beheaded. The AWP at close range, trying to do the best job it physically can, and luckily, he does way too much. All of the damage starting to come out. He can drop the Molotov on towards the back of the site as well to deny the plant. That was the best case scenario for the CTs.
Very, very innovative play there. Actually, just goes straight through the window, goes for the kills. Very thinking on his feet, I think is the best way of putting it. And a lovely little boost is also 2v4. This is very winnable.
Reacting under pressure and doing so much damage against forZe. However, Jerry, with a round-winning play potentially, as he slaughters 2 of them before going down himself, leaving it on XC Power. He's got the AWP, the weapon that he made his name with, but he can't react. He can't get the shot off. And top of the round, top of the world for the way he's played that one. A 2K and the AWP save. Navi Junior. It was too close for comfort, but at least they still get the round. That's the true commodity right now.
Yeah, so actually having 4 players drop means they do only manage to save the 1 AWP, right?
Yeah.
So they did have the 2 to start with in the previous round as well. So I wonder if that will be playing an effect on this situation. So you can see face rack, he's just done the exact same thing as they did before, but he's just gone into CT spawn. What?
I mean,
he just rushed through.
This is wild.
He did get seen, 100%. The B player did see him.
Yeah, you can see they're worried about this. They're already starting to rotate. There's a couple of spams.
But what do you do about this? He can't do much with this position unless they dedicate to one site, right?
I mean, it just makes it hard, though, because basically you have to use utility to force him out, or you have to trade on it. Instead, they've tried to force the play towards short. Bit's been slain. Hopper might be about to suffer the same fate. He drops the smoke. If he plays inside it, or at least near it, and gets lucky with them not spamming, then he has potential in the round.
Look how paranoid Gaspard is. He's not even watching the long cross. He's having to watch just the headshot angle sometimes as well. On that timing! No! Face rack. Actually, Choba has no chance here, sure. Should just be the one, but the trade with the AWP is actually right there as well. 13 to 11. How does face rack get allowed to go up the ramp without the B player seeing him? Is my question, really.
Yeah.
But I think that's the difference maker, right?
It certainly was. Essentially, there was a chance left for them as well. If Alamaza fell, instead, it's with the Alakazam. He'll pick up a nice little 2-piece into the round.
Just to make things worse, he was already committing to the Molotov run through. Yeah, can't see either. Good. On fire. Don't know what to do. Very well played. 13 to 11. Navi Junior, they're forced into an eco as well. This Dust 2 game looks like it's going towards forZe.
It does seem like it. It's scary. Obviously, this is Navi Junior's map pick as well. If you're just joining us, it's a best of 3 here. Our opening game for Group A. We've got 2 more best of 3s to go tonight after this one, and this is just the first map. So strap yourselves in, put that seatbelt on, and get ready for a whole lot of CIS Counter-Strike commotion throughout the course of the day. Here in round 25, though, forZe have the advantage. 2 rounds looming over what Na'Vi have been able to put up onto their CT side. 3 players grouped up towards middle though, Ben. We've seen this quite a few times. We've also seen Bit causing these shenanigans, playing up close and personal towards the stairs on short as he swings out. I mean, I'm surprised he did so much damage before he was killed, actually.
It was quite a delayed death. I mean, from Facebook's POV, it was a bit awkward, really.
Yeah. He ran out of mouse mat. He hit his keyboard.
Very difficult situation. But forZe, this should just be a case of give them a few seconds, they'll clean out the round. 14 to 11.
Yeah.
So, facing 14-11 on that CT side of us too, you've had double up 1 round, right? You did technically win the round, but I wouldn't say it was because you had double up. It's because one of the orbs did well. Like, it was Onka when he ran through window and got the 2 kills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the main play right there. But no, you can't just rely on the double up, I don't think, in this situation either.
Well, it's also the issue is that's not really a repeatable play whatsoever, right? Like, how many times are they going to go for a split push like that onto the B side, where he'll fly out window, go for an initiative ball, gets 2 kills because one of them's holding CT and not watching it. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those sort of situations. Let's see though. So forZe have been abusing the fact there is no mid player really for Navi. There's nobody actually watching this mid area, nobody's actually opening it. They're pretty much staying away. Double up does come out again. But look how concerned they are. Like, the B players, they have to keep an eye out of mid to B because they're having to dedicate towards long just in case that area is taken. And even though they dedicate towards long, Topa's on his own again. Stuck in pit. He gets the 1 kill, but the trade is there.
Here comes the push. The wide flick. Swing and a miss. And a beheading for both of the boys that dared to defend towards long. They've been blown off their feet. And forZe are thirsting for that 15th round. They want to take it to match point, and there's not going to be any type of contest put up from Na'Vi Jr. They have to hold on to this orb. They need that M4. They don't have money. They don't have much left. Much of a say even, potentially, in this first map. Dust 2 is 1 round away of being the upset map win here for forZe on Na'Vi Jr.'s map pick.
Just looking at some of the numbers, right? So, players not called Topa on Navi Jr. right now are 6 and 16 in opening duels. However, Topa himself is 4-0. So, he's top. Well, he's well above all the other players in the team currently. We proved that with when he was actually on his own, like 2 kills and damage. But it's just a bit concerning. Actually, does he? Yeah, he loses that AWP as well. So even though they try to save the 2 players alive, forZe, they take that away. This is looking like it's quite game, to be honest with you. This should be 16-11. The buy is incredibly weak. forZe look like an absolute train right now. The CT side was just a bit of a blip by the looks of things. They should run away with it.
They should do. Getting that opening kill onto Topper is certainly the way to start it. They annihilate this man. There's another one gone as well. Face crack, still doing what he does best as he wields the AK to a high level. It's certainly a worrying sight to behold for any of the Na'Vi Jr. fans out there, as now they only have a triple threat of players remaining. They had the drop on face crack, but they certainly can't get the kill. Macho is the last man alive, spammed into on CT. And he drops, hits the DECK as forZe will pick up the win on that one, taking Na'Vi Jr.'s map pick against them. And it means we're going on to Inferno, forZe's map pick, with them having a 1-0 lead.
Quite a convincing one when you consider that second half performance, right? It was, what, 9-6 half in favour of Na'Vi Jr. So to think 16-11, that's a phenomenal T-set half. And especially when you consider not their pick. That's the main thing. So, all things considered, forZe, they recovered nicely. Now we look to Inferno, which I believe it will be a knife again. So, Inferno doesn't change too much. I'm just kind of wondering, do we see Na'Vi Jr. collapse going on to their opponent's pick? Or if we see them actually put up a fight?
That's the scary factor. That's the sentiment, of course, that the unknown now. There was a few rounds where they did look quite good. I just don't know if it's sustainable. Obviously, the only rounds we really saw them coming to the forefront in the CT side was the double AWP, and even then, that's just off the back of individual play. It wasn't consistent. It was beatable. forZe as a squad just looks that little bit better. Inferno is the second map in the series, though. That is where we are going. Obviously, it will be a short break before the second map kicks off, but don't go anywhere, as it will not be too long whatsoever. Thank you for joining us on the CIS Cup, a qualifier, of course, for the Blast Premier 2020 European Showdown. There is only one spot left up for grabs, and we'll be finding out who is going to fill it once we get into the weekend. Hello everyone, thank you for waiting. Of course, we understand it was a much longer delay than we initially expected going into that break, but we do believe there was a big tech issue with someone on the side of Natus. Of course, they already had an issue at the start of the day, Ben. One of them had to relocate, I believe, to his brother's house due to a power outage at his own home. So it's not been a fortunate day for the Navi fans whatsoever. But hopefully they can bring back a little bit of momentum once we get into the next map, though, which of course is forZe's map pick going into Inferno. They're already 1-0 up. If you're just joining us, again, sorry for the downtime we've had, but it was a 16-11 scoreline on Dust 2, which was Navi Junior's map pick that went in the way of forZe.
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. I mean, it's not a very good start to the day for them, is it? Like, we started really nicely on Dust 2, thinking about it. You might as well look back and have a bit of a recap of that one. So what was it, 9-6 half? Probably could have been easily like 10-5, maybe 11-4 at times.
Yeah.
But obviously the second half was a completely different story. forZe took control, and basing on the fact how that game ended, we're probably looking at the way that Inferno will go the same way. forZe, this is their most played map by a good margin. They picked it for a reason. I'm expecting this to be a 2-0, but all things considered, we should be actually getting into the end very, very soon as well.
It looks like the pistol round's already halfway through, but all right, we jump into the game now. We deal with the hand we've been given, Benjamin. Let's see how well our players can deal with the hand they've drawn, though. There's Alamaza and XE Power are the last two alive at this point. I don't know how we got into this position, but we'll have to try and make up for it. No! Why is he taking a silencer off, Ben?
I hate the...
That's the biggest technical issue we've seen all day. Don't take your silencer off. That's giving me a small heart attack. That's not great. So that should be the pistol going Navi Junior's way. Almeza gets taken down.
Obviously, couldn't tell you how they got down to Navi Junior get B. Good start. Let's see if they end up converting those. If you remember, Navi did win the pistol in Dust 2. Started off. They then got ecoed. So Inferno as well, a pretty good map for actually breaking the anti-eco convert. Ooh, nice cheeky little boost actually in the corner. Nothing comes of it though. So yeah, this will be a very big test though. Navi Junior on the T side of Inferno can be shut out quite easily on a map like Inferno as well. We'll see how that one goes. Thinking back, it was what, Facecrack and Almeza really forming for the actual forZe side. XE Power didn't do too much. Considered.
He was trying to get some sort of impact down with the AWP, but just really couldn't for the most part of the game, especially like CT side Dust 2. He was absolutely forced out, wasn't really able to find his way into the game. Flit again was another good performer. As you said, Facecrack was quite efficient throughout the course of the game. But Topa certainly was the big man behind Navi Junior. He was the only real one that was putting up an impact and getting frags on the board for him. Can he do it again here on Inferno, though? That'll be the question. Right now, it looks like they should win this conversion round off the back of the opening pistol they've taken. XE Power flicking off his opponent there with the scalp. Facecrack trading it onto Bit, but the rest of them are just being absolutely brutalized with the AKs that are coming out from Navi Junior. Jerry and Alamaza, they just need to save, really. They've got armor. Alamaza has head armor as well, so just hold on to those Deagles, let this round go.
Keep hold of those, keep the smoke as well. That's actually a really high value bit of equipment to have. So not really starting great for XE Power when we consider, we did briefly touch on it. He didn't do too much in Dust 2, about where AWPers tend to have pretty solid games, right? And we started off with him missing 3, maybe 4 scout shots there. Not ideal.
Not a great way to start it whatsoever. Well, it's a very good start for this man. 3 frags to his name at the start of the game here, coming in hot off the presses. Obviously 5 frags over 2 rounds. At least Jerry and Alamaza are allowed to save both of these Deagles now. They can keep those going forward.
Some retro stickers there on the Deagle skin though, as well. Or Titan. Titan and C9.
Now what he has. Been quite spot on. We'll have a look.
I believe it was the ESL1 Cologne 2014 one, so like the circle ones.
Oh yeah. The old school bad bullets. Ones that everyone wanted for years. We never got. Let's see what damage can be done with the Deagles here. We get back in. Obviously just a bit of a punishing pistol round coming out from forZe until the real game will begin going in round 4 after this, when they have a little bit more money to spend. Bit will be able to achieve the opening frag. The rest of the forZe boys start to scarper. Only one of them towards the A site. That's just Flip with the CZ. In reality, he needs to post himself up on a close angle and see what he can do. He drops the CZ, upgrades to a Deagle, does fall back. They're not going towards A. They're actually fighting for contention towards top banana. This could be bad for them. Well, it could have been, but it certainly isn't. Instead, it's all coming up Na'Vi Jr. as they annihilate each and every one of the T's that were there. They've opened up their play in towards B. Even though it was the stacked bomb site, you wouldn't have guessed by looking at the position we're now in. Just one CT remaining. Only Flick with his Deagle. No flicks, though. Just 14 HP remaining for him. He'll get caught off guard by the Galil a bit. And that's it. 3 rounds on the spin there for Na'Vi Jr., but now forZe finally have a buy to work with, Benjamin.
Yeah, nice clean rounds on the actual anti-ecos there as well. As you said, there was that small chance, right? That flash over the top towards top banana could have been the difference maker, but I believe it was Bet playing anti-flash, completely negated that entirely. So first gun round on the board for forZe. Power has the AWP out, like M4s surround it. Not full utility, but let's see how this one goes though. 3 players towards banana. No, they gone for the boost and Anker gets all the way through. He gets both players, both of them fully blinded by Bit there as well. Face crack is here, but can he repel them?
Oh, straight through the smoke, he gets one. Timing was executed perfectly, and execution is what's happening across the board from the CTs now as Power brings himself to the forefront of the game. Landing that shot with the AWP, taking down 2 of the T's. They still have the advantage overall, and this man could really push them further into the lead, but he needs to land the shots with a UMP. The adjustment is clinical, and the kill is fabulous as Flit hits the deck. Power has a ridiculously tall order. Try and win this round. He's adjusting towards quad. Barely gets that shot off, but that's it. He has the save. Oh, the timing as well, as I thought he was actually going to get stuck backing in towards pit. He's ready with the adjustment. He might be able to save this. Although he's pushed out of pit, he's just jumping up and down. What? I don't understand how he's been allowed to do that. He gets the frag, the most audacious things, and then he sniffs the flowers, Ben.
Looks better from our point of view, really, doesn't it? You know, on his
you know he's looking at his head, but just straight sniffing the flowers. Damn. Oh, that violet smells good.
Oh, these posies. They're delightful.
Oh, bloody love summertime, me. That's mental. I don't understand how he's been able to get away with that.
Like what?
Oh, like I get you trying to get into apps, but he's an absolute lunatic. Oh, face crack. Talking of lunacy, look at him go.
He's charging all the way down. I mean, they've got a lot of back control. He goes into Vietnam to try and find that kill. That's a crazy decision to make. But nevertheless, the aggression doesn't quite pay off. Now, it's a 5v4 in favour of Na'Vi Jr. You could argue a point here that, you know, that chase was not worth it at all. When you look at the actual Na'Vi Jr. bench, right? They lost, what, 4 people to him? Just then? Yeah, in terms of cost to what you got out of it, absolutely dreadful. Even if you took away the AWP and lost 3 people, still not great. Especially when you know forZe are very willing to go for these, I'd say audacious buys, MP9 and just Kevlar, and that's it. Oh, see how this can go. Lovely little crossfire.
That was certainly outrageous. Beautiful play from the MP9s
God.
as they're punishing with the SMGs. Just sublime stuff. Everyone's actually falling for the T side here, and this could be the opening round for forZe finally. Because there's only 2 men left alive now. Na'Vi Jr. left in quite a weighted position. 30 seconds remain. The bomb making its move up towards top banana. And that was a highly needed frag. They have utility. They can smoke towards CT. Slip their way in towards the bomb site. Fake play with the bomb, causing a bit of carnage as he chucks it out, but this man is certainly set for annihilation. If he pushes through the smoke, he could take them both down. They'd be like gears trapped in headlights, but instead they're watching it. This one AWP has been the biggest blessing they could have hoped for. 3 frags found already, and potentially a 4th to lock it down is Flit. He's a bit panicked, Ben. He's only got an MP9. He's coming in from Banana. Capachow just sitting over by Jenny. He's got a clean shot with this AK. Surely this should be the round over.
Should be the case. Definitely. At the very worst, he'll wait for an exit if something does go that way. Which they actually might do. There's 10 seconds on this bomb. They need to exit to the Banana box. Yeah, they're going straight towards him. He might actually be able to get back. And yeah, Capash should just take it straight down. Nice and easy. But I was kind of worried, right? We saw the player in the smoke waiting, biding his time, waiting for the plant to go down. The author watching is such a heavy reliance. He has to hit that shot. Like, if he doesn't hit it, that's probably round done. The bomb doesn't get planted. The author then has to reposition, find Scarper away. This is another very strong start from the actual Navi Junior guys, and that's he's just stabbed a bit there.
Right. So much aggression on display. Everyone's just aggro, stabbing each other, aggressively sniffing flowers, all sorts of madness. Look at the setup towards Banana as well. Straight on top of the head. The peak from XC Power, I mean, it's cheeky. That's certainly not the best, though. Yeah, the nade just detonating in their face. They still get the frag out of it, and they can back off. It's actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it was really nice. Like, there has to be a very good level of chemistry to actually work out, you know, make sure you're moving at the same time. Especially because when scoped in, it does move slower, right? So
yeah,
you have to make sure you're moving at the correct pace. But that is an opener for forZe. I'm trying to think, is that actually their first opener of the game? No, actually, Jerry got the opener a few rounds back, but on a gun run, it could be very different. This is a cheap play.
It's a cheap play. Hustling and bustling their way up through quad. They look to try and get another round here. Blitz up on top of the balcony, bombarding them with bullets. As he takes the first one down, blows them to bits as he kills Bits as well. And it's all on Topper, trapped on the bomb site. The adjustment's there. Jerry! He shoots into his gun barrel, Ben. He gets contact and has to dart his way back. The bomb's down on the lip of the site. Topper gets the frag. He's confident to hold the angle as well. He doesn't quite know where XC Power is coming from. Re-smokes again towards Library. It all depends on timing. He needs to be quick on this adjustment, but he knows he's coming from quad now. Finds the headshot. That is a clinical clutch round. Beautifully played there from Topper. On top of the world with that one.
Very, very well played. Full, what, 3v1 right there?
Yeah.
And he gets given all 1v1s though, right? That was the same with Jerry. He looks a bit slow. I'll be honest, he looked very slow on the actual, you know, pulling the trigger there. 6-0, a pause. We can safely assume a tactical on the side of forZe, right? The thing about it is, that might be actually the first pause of the entire series so far. Because I don't think we had any on Dusty, did we?
I don't remember him taking a pause, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so 6-0, they finally had a breather. Like, I know that MP9 Kevlar actually, it probably does work out quite a lot in their like cracks and everything, because the MP9 is incredibly, you know, powerful when you do use it in the first place.
Yeah.
But you are making yourself limited in terms of your full buy capability. You're not going to be able to get full utility if you keep doing these sorts of buys. Like, don't get me wrong, you're weakening the T-side economy, but there's no use weakening it if you're never winning the round, actually, to utilise that.
But it's the pros and cons of it as well, right? Is, yeah, sure, as you said, you're weakening their economy. But if you don't have your own economy, you've got no smokes, you've got no utility, especially on a map like Inferno, right? You can't keep them back. They'll just take all the map control they want. This might be the one time, maybe it will work out well for forZe here, depending on how they opt to play this. If timing was in their favor and they had flashed over, had one of the players playing anti-flash, maybe. Instead, they just walk out into the contact push that's coming in from Na'Vi. They get 2 picks. They're aware of what shenanigans are afoot towards the B site as well. They've still got another 2 players there. They don't really have any stopping power to work with. They've got no smokes either. Flit, the only one with the utility, is over at A, so these Ts can just waltz their way in and take it as their territory.
It's easy pickings, like there's no trade potential, nothing. And consider this is forZe's pick.
Yeah.
Right? Disastrous display this one. The CT side has not been too great this series. So it will be just an attempted save. I think it's not really a save in the sense that you want to keep these weapons. It's more trying to do damage, get yourself a better gun, get an upgrade. Which XC power still not showing up, if I'm perfectly honest. He's been, I don't know, I think he had a very strong spree of months, like a few months ago, where he was performing really well, pushing forZe to be a tier 2, pushing that tier 1 area team.
Yeah.
But it feels like he's fallen off of that. I'm not sure if that's just a case of coincidentally games I've seen he's not been as good, or if it's actually just a case of he is quite inconsistent perhaps. Not too sure.
I also do wonder, like across the board, right, with a lot of our teams now, especially over the course of like quarantine as a whole, right, where they've been playing way more games day in, day out. Obviously you've got that prac schedule alongside the amount of more online competition we've seen. If burnout has started to hit some of the younger talent who we've seen previously be able to live that high nearly every match. I mean, unfortunately for him, once again as well, towards top banana, he's just deleted from the server. At least Alamaza can recover the AWP, it's not out of commission. I'm curious to see though, Ben, if burnout's starting to hit a few of those sort of younger talents that have been looking ridiculously hot, if it's just not sustainable at this point after, 2 months of consistent play.
Yeah, I am wondering. I mean, forZe, they dropped out of the Road to Rio as well. They didn't even make the playoffs. So it might be a case as well that they just don't perform that good when it comes to domestic situations. Obviously, we saw Monster Rider.
Could be.
It was a similar case. They got 3-0'd in a best of 5, which you would not expect based on previous results.
And like 16-1 Vertigo as well.
Yeah, 20 rounds won in total, I think, plus the 3 rounds. It was disastrous, really. The thing is, we know forZe are good enough though. Like that +2 performance on T-side, they were running around, they were just confident, they knew they were better. But when they play CT, apparently that goes out the window. It's a very bizarre situation. 3 players on B though. Let's see how this one goes. 5v3 on the side.
Well, the man that sounds like a wizard, let's see what magic he can do. He can only do one magic trick, and that's to make Topper disappear before he himself vanishes into thin air. The T's really causing a bit of trouble with the Kalashnikovs as well as they slaughtered the defense. And we're just down to 2 men left. The boys in blue struggling to survive into the round. Flip, detected, found back, but they didn't realize this man was there. Face crack towards the back of the site, hiding by Nubox, a little bit panicked and rather punished. He's charged down, executed, and another round goes the way of Navi Jr. That's 8 on the spin. This is not their map pick either. They initially picked us too. It was the win for forZe, whereas now, looking like a complete reset in terms of the pace bet. Navi Jr. looking fantastic going into the second map, already achieving 8 rounds.
Maybe the tech issue was, we needed to complete this lesson. Somebody did joke about it in chat, didn't they? They said Blade's just giving them a short pro tips thing on Inferno. Maybe Navi Jr. have taken it on board, they're 8-0 up. They're running away with it. forZe, they're going to be stuck on this peculiar buy. Let's see how that one actually goes.
Have we lost the feed?
Yes.
I did wonder. I was like, are we just underwater, or have we lost the gameplay?
It's back. It's back.
Right, hang on.
We're good.
Mine is down. Give me a sec.
It's still going. Okay, I'll keep going. So I did say forZe got a weird light going through. I did see it come through, but I wasn't sure where it was entirely. So 4 Deagles and MP9. As with Navi Jr., they were 8-0 up. Still are. Let's see what happens though.
Okay.
Maybe it was just a bit of a meme that I mentioned tech issues. We have to have another tech
Let's just throw one in there, yeah.
It's like, if you say bitch just 3 times in the mirror, right?
Yep.
On a broadcast, if you say tech issue or overtime, you're gonna get it.
Then 3 times over the course of a series, they do just occur. Well, hopefully we've got all of those in the past, and the future is just going to be greener pastures, especially for forZe, as they need some kind of response. Right now, it's been the Navi show. Born to conquer, Ben. They've certainly been showing that here on the second map.
It's been very much... I would gladly believe that, map picks were reversed. Just cause.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised with the way it's gone.
Thus far, Navi Jr., it's a bit more consistent. I'm wondering, though, how they would have performed in Dusty if they hadn't like not converted from the pistol. It's 15 seconds here, they need to get into the site.
Yeah, they have to push on. They're not leaving themselves much time whatsoever. There's 7 seconds on the clock and the bomb hasn't started to go down yet. Luckily, they get it in. On the 5-second mark, if there would have been a random spam through the smoke, any type of delay whatsoever, that round could have been gone. Looking like old school Na'Vi on the push they've just made there towards that B site, Ben.
Maybe CIS is giving the tips this time. I'm not sure. Somebody's giving the tips.
Right, boys, I got this banging video for you from 2016. Let's get this on the go.
They won't know what's hitting. They'll be thinking, am I watching a VOD? Or am I living a VOD? What is this?
Am I living this nightmare? Alamaza and XD Power, the only two that are still alive, of course. forZe, they're just going to be saving once again. Armored Eagle on one of them. Got Smoke as well, where it's just the Deagle for XD Power. At least they've got those coming through to the next round, and that loss bonus that has been full to the brim for quite some time now, as there's been 9 rounds on the spin for Na'Vi Jr. They haven't dropped a round yet on Inferno, and they're building a lot of bank. They've got a ton of money to play with, Ben. They could be buying all sorts of madness for these things. 10k on Capachao, 9k pretty much on everyone else. Oh no, don't do this. The battle for Banana, Ben. Alamaza gets one. Bit spams through the smoke, but they don't realize there is a man lurking behind them. He is literally rotated out and said, I'll play CT now. As he waits for the pushback through the smoke, Jerry, so confused about where he's just been shot from, gunned into the side of the head, and it's a 4 versus 3 in favor of the T's.
Very bizarre. Just encounter, I guess. Like, the back and forth. I'm not really sure what to call it. But if I'm perfectly honest, forZe, that's basically been the story of this map so far. They're not really... It doesn't feel like they're playing like they normally do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not what we expect. It's nothing like it. Let's see if face crack can get anything done. He's on the
Got face crack, living up to his name. Shattered, of course. Bomb's going to go down. That's got to be the save. Again, they're just backing off. XD Power, he'll hold on to his AWP. Flip wants to clutch onto this M4. 10 rounds. Back to back for Na'Vi Jr. When are they going to find a bump in the road? When are they going to slow down? Will they even?
Doesn't feel like they're going to be stopping at all. I mean, so we did mention XD Power. So there was that one round he saved, wasn't there?
Yeah.
which we remember quite nicely when he sniffed some flowers afterwards.
He did
He's
indeed.
6 kills this map.
Yeah.
Right? 4 of them were in that round saving. So yeah, you can't help but feel like you need him to come in mind to do something. Like, you need everybody to actually just start showing up, because right now it's disastrous. Like, you take away his 4 kills from the save, and you basically have a total of 12 kills from the entire team. Like, in terms of impact kills, you're probably down a few more again. Let's see how this goes. So they've had some nice little boosts, I have to say. I've been enjoying these. And the movement forward again.
And obviously that's one of the only times we really saw them getting the opening frag as well, when they did this previously with XD Power up on top of this boost. Difference is this time though, no one wants to challenge him.
The thing is, I think it's just like, we feel like they haven't had many openings. They've had 4 of the set 10 rounds, right? Mm-hmm. But it's never felt like there's been an opening and then a 5v4 from it. It's been an opening and trade immediately, or trade within 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's certainly in terms of the trade, like the trade game, Na'Vi have looked a million times better. XD Power.
He's up, isn't he?
Yeah, just straight goes for it. He's actually holding his ground as well, just playing from behind the Molotov. He is going to get nuked with grenades. The mortar strike rains down. He's tagged as well. You can't get away. You're so slow from the impact, the shots that have riddled into him. That's caused the rotation. Big man Jerry coming round on the scene with the MP9. Well, time flashbang. That will at least buy him a little bit of time for the rotation on towards the bomb side. But he's the only one there. And he's going up against an army of Na'Vi.
Na'Vi are Tom. What will Joey react to? Will he start away or will he take the fight? He has to take the fight. Doesn't even get one either. Onka has been on fire when it comes to getting into that bomb site, by the way. I think he's on maybe 18 kills at this point, maybe 19, something like that. He's been just getting every single kill that's needed. and that's going to be a save. But there's nothing else to be say about it. 11-0. forZe, they've used 2 pauses this game already, and nothing's really come of it. It's not like the style of play changed.
No, there wasn't any initial like response off the back of it. We haven't seen anything like game plan wise where you can clearly see, okay, they've switched this up. You know, the difference in maybe how they play Banana, sending in a third player over there, nothing like that. It's still been the same mistakes that they're working with. Also, just feels like Navi Jr. are looking a whole lot more crisp when it comes to the shots they're hitting. The confidence is certainly in their face. They're taking better fights. The trades are just night and day difference across the board as well.
So looking at the numbers of that, so Honka, he's on 17 kills right now, 157 ADR, which I can do some very quick maths. He's basically got the same as 4 players combined with forZe in terms of ADR. So it's not, you know, the numbers don't lie, but also at the same time, if you were to say he's got the same value as basically the entire team, it's not far off.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's a nice fight. Okay, so that's an opening and no trades. Finally, maybe start something different, something new.
Potentially as well, this is also the benefit of the fact that they do have that double orb setup. Alamaza, he was proficient when he picked it up previously towards the B-bomb site, when his teammate fell and left it on the ground for him. They do have utility also. They've built up a bit more cash, of course. The smoke goes down, there's a Molotov dropped as well. All of this pressure immediately put on them. The seeds of doubt that are in their mind, thinking it's a B, when in reality, everyone is outside A. You can see them setting up on the T side for smokes. They're going to start to cast those out. They're going up against the triple threat of forZe's defense.
This will be their first test, if I'm perfectly honest. So I feel like they haven't been tested on the take yet. So Topaz a flashbang, you can flash them out from mid. Smoking mini pit. Flash should be good now. Flit doesn't get blinded at all, should be easy pickings.
Yeah, clean 2 kills for him. Easy headshots, XD power also on the AWP. Assault anchor. It's just Topper. Back towards bottom mid, Jerry's going to run by. Slams into him with the AK, but bear in mind the bomb is miles away. Trapped at the end of Apps on the balcony. Best he can do is save! Oh, it seemed like he was ready for that shot with the way he took the face. I thought maybe he was actually going to hit it. No. And that's critical as well. Not only did forZe get the round, but they saved both of those AWPs. They needed to. They can't afford to throw these weapons away for nothing.
So let's consider the fact from the angle of Navi Jr. You know there's 2 AWPs on the map. Normally, when you see there's 2 AWPs on the map, you try and go for a bit of execute play. Make sure you try and like limit the capabilities of the huts. So we're seeing some early smokes and Molotovs being thrown in. Back to mid approach, smoke on arm side, coming straight through. Kabacha, he's already on the entry. That's one of the AWPs down. Face crack, gets himself out. That looked very dodgy in terms of the X-ray point of view there. It looked like he's just stuck on the door. So some very early chaos, I think it's fair to say. They're very close here as well. Ooh.
Face crack. Getting the flick off. The A site take this time around is looking a whole lot more healthier than it did previously. And Flit needs to be a mean machine. He's got to be the meat grinder against the oncoming push from the T's. Unfortunately for them, though, face crack has fallen, and it just leaves it on 2 CTs. Flit, he's still gotten into some pretty good angles. The way he's been playing it and the repositioning he's been doing to get these little bits of chip damage off for every available opportunity is fantastic. And he just keeps landing the shots as well. All of a sudden, it's on Topper. He needs a 4K to clutch it, but there's no quad kill in sight. Instead, it's a kill from Flit. Smashes him, takes him down, a 2K into the round, and countless damage done for a second. Finally, forZe, they've woken up. They've left it so late. The best they can possibly achieve at the end of the half here is 2 more rounds, taking them to a grand total of 4.5.
Yeah, I think too little too late comes to mind immediately, doesn't it? Because Navi will be buying out regardless.
Yeah.
Well,
They've just got too much money.
and that's a double nade onto the corner Banana, which kills Almeida straight up. So that's a huge pick to actually find as well. But Jerry's not been doing too great this game. He's had some whiffs, I think it's fair to say, when encountering enemies. So let's see though. Navi, they get the opener, uncontested, no trade, nothing possible. How do they react?
I imagine they probably do what's worked so well from over the course of the game. Go B. Walk in towards that B bomb site. That's where they found countless success. That's where they've got that pick once again as well. Salamaz has been dropped to the floor. It's just Jerry and Flip. An AK and an M4. They do have utility. They've used both of their smokes at the exact same time, though. They've thrown them both down as one of them missed, I believe. The nade's actually gone out and blown them back. It's not really transferred too much damage onto anyone else. Instead, they're all 100 HP. They're pushing in and getting aggressive. They're going for wide swings. The play from Flacecrack is actually probably the best they could hope for as he sprays them down from the elevated angle. They weren't ready for it whatsoever. There was no trade. And they save another round. They keep it going in favor of forZe.
Potentially a bit too hasty, I think, on that one. It might be better to try and actually just whittle away the grenades. As I said, they, on the defense side, they put down the smokes at the same time. And despite that, there was no issue because Na'Vi were dedicating straight through the smokes.
They just walked in anyway.
Everything needed, yeah. Which you could argue that's a bit of an experience coming through, perhaps. Like, that's the difference, right? You get an opening kill, you're a bit panicky, like, oh, we've been going B. Why don't we just go B again? We'll just keep going there.
Yeah.
And instead of like slowing it down, making forZe waste nades or think about things a bit more, they end up just committing a bit too early. So forZe looking quite likely to get that 4th round. Yeah, 11-4 doesn't sound as bad when you consider it was 11-0.
I mean, anything's better than that, right? Literally 4 times around they had.
Let's see how this goes there. Almeza very bold there. Fully blinded, just stays. Not bothered. Much slower round though, so we're looking at 45 seconds before that mid-smoke fades. Is there another smoke left? So they've got one more smoke at this actual big site, and the small site has both smoke and a molly available. So there shouldn't be a need to actually rotate if they're personal class. You can actually risk it very nicely here. More so when we can see, obviously, we can see the radar, everybody's positions. This is going to be an A play, and the utility is pretty good.
They go back towards the A site. They get dinked instantly. That nade could capitalize so much. Look at the amount of damage it's done. The airstrike coming in from forZe as they hit them with the thrusters, and the turbo definitely comes out to play. Flip with 2. Facecrack claiming one of his own as he steals the frag against Bit, slamming him through the wall. XT Power, you lunatic, up on top of the box, just no-scoping like a madman. Gives the AWP back across, and it's given him leeway to get on the bomb site. But it won't be a pretty sight. Instead, it'll be his demise. And the fall of Na'Vi Jr. towards the end of the half. They lose 4 rounds on the spin, but they won 11 on the trot since coming in here on the second map of Inferno. A ridiculously good half from their T side. Now they move over to their CT.
A good recovery, but I think it relies a lot on the pistol here. Because obviously, Na'Vi Jr., as I said, they've got 11 rounds. They win the pistol, we hit 12, convert 13, and that scoreline just escapes them. So I think that's the CT smoke early from spawn, and that's the worst possible scenario.
He's just sat in the smoke. He's tried to boost over his head. Oh, Corey, no! You absolute madman! Assaults them with a pistol. How has he done this? He wants to be the smoke criminal.
Flit's thinking on his feet, though, isn't he? He knows they pushed down mid behind them.
He is gone.
Yeah, he's very confident gone. He should get a plant here as well, so the plant actually might change. Even if he loses the round, a plant actually adds a lot more scariness to the second round of the half. I'm just amazed there was a little game of leapfrog attempted, wasn't there?
Oh, mate, straight boost onto his head.
He wants to kill before he goes for the plant.
I like this. This is the smart play to make. He's confident about it as well. Straight in towards apartments. All right, a bit of an awkward flick up from the chest of the cranium, but he does still hit the shot and secures the kill. Can he secure the bag, though, and win the round? Bomb goes down. Straight into the post plant. Where's he going?
So consider there's one player without armor here, but there's actually quite a lot of utility. There's smoke, 2 flashes. This is going to be a decent retake.
Needs to be better than decent on the shots with the USP, though. A sniper with this pistol currently, as he punishes the first, gets the adjustment on the second. The starter shot round the corner, cuts the head clean off a topper flip. Oh my goodness, a 4K into the round, a stunningly good clutch, and a much needed pistol going the way of forZe. That is ridiculous.
that's one way to start your second half when you're down 11-4, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they lose 3 players going through a smoke at banana, yet somehow they still actually prevail. Flip, play that 1v2 really nice, right? He goes for that extra kill in apartments, finds it, gets the plant down, and then they basically, I mentioned the utility in that 1v2, and it just doesn't get used at all. Like, they just ran onto the site, no flashes, nothing. 11-5 though, let's see if forZe can carry on the confidence. So evidently Flip, he's been the performer from Dust 2 as well, he was top of the board.
Yep. Now
top of the board in Inferno. Let's see if they can move forward with this one as well. They do still need to convert the extra round. Jerry, he actually gets 1 deep there through the ball of the wall. 80 damage. Lucky to be alive.
Yeah, you can see instantly off the rotation of that as well. He gets himself out of the front line, straight towards the back of the pack, slows it down. If a nade came in, he would have been blown out of commission. Luckily, though, for him, the only HE in play for the CTs is over towards the A site, so he doesn't have to worry about getting bombarded out of play. They do need to be aware. All of the pistols posted up on these angles. Okore going straight through the smoke. This could be a fantastic play. But he's struggling to adjust. It won't matter in the meantime, at least as Topper's got 2 with a 5-7, Ben. But it leaves them now outnumbered, outgunned, and in a horrific position to attempt to mount this retake.
You can't ever feel like he should be getting 2. Like, he's lucky Topa managed to recover 2 of them himself, but they were easy kills, all players blinded.
It felt like he just couldn't get the flick off. Like, he just seemed a bit uncomfortable with his sense in that play.
So, there was boost. There's boost with banana, in fact. That's actually kind of cheap. Jump does get seen, and Jerry actually just wide swings off the ball. That's kind of crazy that Jerry wide swings. 20 HP. They're stuck behind a smoke at banana. He would have swinging. Actually recovered an MP5. This next round actually still isn't out of the park just yet for forZe either. You'll drop a Deagle, you've got arm on the MP5. There's still a chance here to make something happen.
Chance for a small one of that. You don't really see the counter nade up mid too often.
No, it's worth noting. So the 2 players that died last round were Face Wreck and Almaza. Instead of buying utility, they just go for Mac 10 and armor, and they'll use them strictly as scouts, as we see right here. Goes top banana, they clear things out. Jerry's obviously assisting because he has green still, but he might just send one of them in. Towards CT, I imagine Almaza will go forward. In fact, Jerry's just taking it all himself. He's just going.
I mean, he's making it work. Oh, through the smoke as well. Ooh. This man is definitely a wizard. The heat vision came into play there. Jerry for another killing blow as well. Tons of money made into that round. That's the real big point to it, right? Think of all the frags they found with those Mac 10s. That's a lot of money.
Definitely, and it actually gives you a chance now to go for a bit of a different play. You can go for a very fast-paced play just to see if you can catch them off guard. But do you want to risk that when you're 11-7 down? That's the question. If this was the first half, you'd be very willing to do it, just because, okay, we might be able to turn this 3-0 lead into 4, maybe 5-6. But now it's a different scenario, isn't it? So Gospoda, he's got the AWP on quad. He runs through the Molotov that they threw over the wall just to get back. So he's already half up. Hasn't seen a single player.
Like 4 ticks of damage from that Molotov because of that bold play. Bit needs to be even bolder, but even more accurate. Perfect spray transition onto the second as Alamaza and FaceCrack are both overwhelmed by the oncoming hailstorm of bullets. Perfect angle and play as well for the AWP there off the top of the box. Jerry couldn't clear it. Now Jerry's dead. Going to XC power with the Mac 10. At this point, just about frags. The likelihood of him winning the round is dwindling away second by second. Still confident to look to make a play out of it. Oversteps the mark though as he peeks straight into the scope of the AWP. Shot down. And Navi Jr. returned to form, finally getting another round. They go 12-7 here against forZe.
12-7. The AWP survives, obviously. That was a bonus round, essentially. We've been noticing, so that was the exact same burst that we saw from Navi Jr. late in the first half as well, where the flashbangs just do not cover player play 10. This is a very good. Oh my god, face crack just charging. No trade potential whatsoever. They're just committing even more.
Oh.
This is very bizarre. There was a spam through the wall and then the nade as well.
It's one of those plays that feels so unnecessary after how good of a T-half they've been putting up as well. And like how close they've been keeping the rounds with the slower rounds, like forcing out utility, actually playing smart. And you're just going for a burst out of nowhere.
I wouldn't have minded that with the Mac 10s.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
That's probably the one scenario where it could have worked, right?
I think, yeah, that would have been okay. But is everyone going to be watching XC Power save for another minute 15, I'd guess? It's, yeah. We've seen it quite a lot so far this series, thinking about it. A lot more often than not, he is quite a bit behind all the rest of the players who just commit very heavily.
Oh, absolutely. He does certainly go for those overcommits and to do quite a few rounds. Dang, interesting, Ben, of course, about that chicken just in front of your scope. Did you know that chickens can distinguish among more than 100 different faces of other members of their species? They've got very good memories for identifying different chickens. Interesting, that. They've also got full colour vision. Do you know that?
Oh. They would live in it then.
Yeah.
I bet they love flowers.
They probably do. They probably do. I mean, they could actually dream of flowers as well, as I believe chickens actually experience REM sleep then.
Lucky. Very lucky. Some people don't, you know.
That is true.
Some people don't quite get their REM.
Also, here's another weird one for you. Did you know that chickens are the closest living relative to the T-Rex?
Right next to Chris Bosh, formerly of the Toronto Raptors and Miami Heat, of course. Nice basketball joke for you.
There you go. That's one. Slam dunk there for any of the basketball fans in the chat. 13-7 then. Navi Jr. making their moves into the server here. forZe have reinvested. They've got firepower once more. XE Power, of course, saving that up as he was having a party with his chicken friend over towards second mid. Let's see if it was worth holding on to, if he can have any impact into the round.
Yeah, pretty much do or die right here, if I'm perfectly honest. For forZe, probably bang into this one behind the AWP. A lot of smoke's been used actually early towards mid here as well. They want the control and it's not going well. Okay, he's been on fire when it comes to having an AK in hand. And Flit got the trade through the wall in apartments, just like on some top of it. Like that was a complete spam through the wall. So, you know, forZe very lucky to be in a 3v3 right now. This is an awkward situation. You don't want to be AWPing on top of the balcony, especially when there's nobody else with you.
An awkward angle to play from. Not really doing himself any favours here. Luckily, favour is the fact he's got two teammates that were alive and kicking. Their hearts are certainly going to be beating, if not pounding, as they turn around the corner. XD Power, easy flick up onto Kapachow, takes them down with the AWP. Hope of response, but nicely so. Beheads XE Power.
Yeah, that's such good info.
He saw him. He knows the read. Topper needs to rotate. He's got to be fast on his feet. He goes the long way though, Ben. He's to give a bit of extra time, meaning he's just going to hold the angle.
Yeah, they don't hear him that way. There's no smoke either. Oh, that's lovely. That is very good.
That's beautiful. A very smart play to make, of course. Goes round. Sure, it wastes a bit of more time, but they don't hear him, as you said. He gets into an angle where he can just hold for the cross, confident that he will land the shots on the kill. He does. Beautiful spray down for the second. And a massive round for Navi Jr.
Something I've noticed, well, like in general from the CIS region is they play so much better with an AK in their hands. It feels like it's a noticeable difference from like compared to Europe, compared to NA, everything like that. Like players like Electronic, for example, and with an M4 in hand, it doesn't feel like he's that impactful. But give him an AK, it changes everything. It feels like the same with Topa, for example, on care so far. You know, forZe right now, they've been playing a lot better when they have AKs in their hands. The CT side has been an absolute disaster. Let's see then. XE Power, not done too much with this AWP. See if we can work or anything. It'd be quite difficult to get a pick through apartments, that's for sure.
Look at the amount of damages to take as well. Beautiful response from the HE, actually. 10 damage done to Face Crack, an awful lot done to XC Power, leaving him with just 34. Nice Scarper. They're straight out of there. Talking to Scarpering, though, Jerry, cheesing his way up towards top banana, snatches away the frag onto Topa as he'll actually cause a bit of turmoil with the Tech 9, leaving us into a 4-on-4 bet. Everyone quite low. Everyone quite panicked, with 30 seconds left on the clock.
There's not much time here, and that bomb is not actually going to one designated location. So 2 smokes going towards B. Looks like the bomb is going to be going towards A here last minute. There's a Molotov delaying this. They need to send somebody in to just cause a stir. But they've already got one rotate. There's one person still on the A side there. Bit is the key man. If he kills the bomber, he wins.
Oh, I mean, Bit's been just broken, left in pieces as Face Crack slams into him with a deagle. forZe, they are not allowing this match point to go to Na'Vi for free. And for Na'Vi, it's all about the save round, it seems. They've understood that it's not worth the potential return on investment for going this round. They're just going to let it slip by. Face Crack will grab that M4 to clutch it onto it, take it to the next round, and that's really all that's going to go down. forZe, they get their 8th.
I was wondering if the M4 drops down the back of the box just then.
I wondered if it was clipped off.
Yeah.
I was looking, I was like, hang on, is there a drop spot there? But it is clipped. Good job, Val.
Or perhaps the M4 is just a bit too chunky.
One thick boy.
Yeah, because I know sometimes the guns can go... On that side there's like that weird conveyor belt, like the vault system thing, isn't there? Like a sliding door, essentially.
Yeah.
But things can go into that bit. I have seen the gun be lost to that area before. Lucky that didn't happen, of course, that's the angle of the kill. So now they saved, what, 3 people alive just then, so you may as well buy around it, which is what they're doing. 14 to 8 though, still in treacherous areas for forZe to be in, especially when you consider that round was basically reliant on the fact that Jerry got that kill on the close banana player and it was only a 1-for-1.
The Face Crack's already into apartments. There is a landlord there, and this man is looking to evict. Going to be able to. Will it be squatters' rights on this one, Ben, for the T side? They flashbang in. Bit's going to back off. Looks like it's a little bit of a stalemate in the fight for control towards apartments early on. Oh, that's certainly not a stalemate, though. That's an opening frag. The peek from the AWP towards top banana. Pays dividends there as Jerry is instantly sniped down. forZe are just left with 4.
Nice little opening, puts the smoke down as well, so beautifully done. Pretty much taking a page out of Device's book with that play. That's the classic one. We always saw Astralis leave a player at the top of banana. This new Device, he has an auto. He takes one shot, smokes, and then pulls back. Like, he plays the perfect, percent play, basically.
The angle.
The switch completely.
Yeah, this is good. The timing!
Into them.
My goodness! That's worked out fabulously. He's also readjusted quite nicely, but no. A cheeky kill comes out for Flit as he flicks up to the head. XC Power certainly coming online now as well. He needs to swing. He has to assist his teammate. Instead, he's leaving him exposed for way too long. Luckily, eventually, he will capitalize and takes down Bit. Flit readjusting, planting the bomb in a preferred location, as he will get it down. Wasn't quite happy with the first.
A few centimeters off. It wasn't quite right.
Certainly wasn't. It would have come back to tilt him. Oh, instead, this is going to be a tilter for Na'Vi Jr. They wanted to take it to 15, but it's not meant to be. forZe just keep on trucking. They're getting the game close, and that is a huge round from XC Power as well. We haven't really seen him have too much of a show-stopping performance over the course of the day, really. He had a couple of style moments on Dust 2, a few impact frags here and there, but they were too thin and far between. At least then, that was a big 4K. It was a better round. And hopefully, that's him turning a new leaf into this series as well. As forZe, they need all the help they can get going forward, as they really can't make any mistakes on this map.
Yeah, very good initial frags there. There was that awkward delay for a second, wasn't there? There was a player under balcony fighting his teammate at arch. He just wasn't swinging on him. But he did get the peak just in time. So Jerry again. I was wondering, did that back actually get Jerry? But yeah, never mind. Just gets 1Ds anyway. So 1-for-1 when you're on basically an eco. CT side, you're not too fussed about that. It depends on how much information you got from it. So they know there's at least one more person there. But look at this risk. Ooh, I like the gamble. Because I feel like teams don't do this enough. when you're like in a situation where it's like a 4v4 or something,
Mm.
you just risk sending everybody to the same side. Worst case scenario, you have to save with 4 people. That's no big deal, right? You can have 1 player drop if needed.
So I do like the thought process behind that play as well, of just sending someone in essentially to suicide when everyone else then just defends on the site and makes no noise. Because if they fall into that and believe, okay, well, B site could be open or at least only have 1 player left, there's a higher percentage that now they're going to push in up against the stack. And it seems like actually they've taken the bait. They've been reeled in.
25 seconds. This could get scary. Player on the boost. There's a lot of Molotovs everywhere, though. Topa gets forced into this first only spot. Shouldn't get anything.
It's just aimbots for Alamaza.
Yeah.
All right. 4 rounds, Ben. That's all it takes now. I mean, they've got over every hurdle on the way here. They've had to fight back from what was really quite a disgusting half for them. It didn't look like it was going to be likely. I mean, what, 11-4 to the position they're now in? Pretty good.
Yeah, 11-4, and you consider, don't forget what happened on that pistol round, right? It was a 1v4, basically.
Yeah. All from Flip.
Yeah, so that's what basically started this train. And the question is, do Na'Vi want to derail it? Do they want to just go, yeah, you aren't winning this comeback. It's gone. Thought I'd make you, get a bit hopeful. Destroy you now. Let's see how it goes, though. Round 25. Bit of a slower one from forZe. Not much banana control taken from the start. On the Na'Vi junior side as well. So you consider what? It's Capacho and Topa. So they've got a smoke and a HE. So nothing, no Molotovs, no flashes. Nothing really left for them to hold this down. So the boost comes through. I like it. I feel like this boost doesn't get used too often enough. But Capacho being there, though, means he can't really use that smoke other than to put a Molotov out. Which he will do now. And Topa can see over the top of that.
The unfortunate part is, I mean, he took so much damage from that Molotov, even though he extinguished it. He still got touched by the ticks. It won't matter, I mean, because the response is just absolutely wild. He's torn them all to shreds, leaving it just on 1 man. XE Power in a 1-on-3. The retake for Na'Vi Junior. This will be match point. If they can win it. He peeks out as well, exposes his head. You give an inch to Na'Vi Junior, they'll take an absolute mile. You know what? They'll take match point as well. There's the defuse. And that's the 15th round finally achieved. Fair play to Capachow in that round. 3 frags. Just guns them all down, slaughters them with the M4. A monstrous play. Na'Vi Junior finally start to look like they're back in control of the game.
Yeah, that boost is paying dividends. Like, obviously, Topa, he only gets the 1, but there's some good damage, and that allows Capacho to just wide swing and get the huge spray down. There was a small chance, though, for XE Power to make that 1v3 happen, but it felt very... not unconfident, but it didn't feel like he was, taking the fights you'd expect from him. Like, the Pico came out quite late. I'm sorry I didn't smoke CT and try to go for a Pico. Top of it, like, things like that, Taking initiative and trying to force the issue. Because you normally have to do that in a 1v3. You can't just let them come into you. See how this goes, though. A bit of a dry play towards mid. Gospoda's here with the AWP as well. XE Power faces into him and Gospoda takes the pick. Like, it feels like we haven't seen XE Power kill Gospoda AWP to AWP much at all this map.
I'm pretty sure in duels against each other, every time it's been Gospoda holding an angle, he's got the kill. It really doesn't feel like there's been much of a response. Alamaza, though, picking up the AWP. This is certainly something we have seen working for them. When he gets the AWP out, he's been hitting up a couple of tasty shots here and there. He's been doing some work for the side. He has to do a whole lot. A huge shift needs to be put in from forZe. 45 seconds left, Ben.
So you're saying he needs to do bits right here?
He does. He does indeed. He absolutely needs to do bits, or else bits will just overthrow all of them. Playing from this cheeky angle towards the site. Again, sniffing some flowers, waiting for the push. Here comes the flashbang. There's the turn into the site. The face crack has been deleted in the blink of an eye. Wouldn't even have seen that one coming. The nade's lovely, but the response from Bit is even better. Slaughters 2, and it's down to Flit. He won the pistol round. He got 4 frags for them in a 1 versus 4. He would need a 4K here again to keep them in the game. That's the only way they survive. He expects Topa's push round from quad, but does he realize he's got backup? Both of them are there. He peeks out on the first, but he couldn't land the spam. He goes down. Na'Vi Junior have done it. 16-10. They win the map. and they split the series 1 map apiece. forZe 1, Dust 2. Na'Vi Jr. take Inferno. That means we're moving on as we'll go to our decider on Mirage.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting one, really. Like, you consider, I don't know, it feels like a lot of these clutch plays have just been a case of not really played the way you'd expect them to. It's a bit interesting. forZe not playing the same. Like, the confidence just doesn't seem to be there anymore. And that is concerning. Like, across the board, it's like that you know how good they can be. It's just apparently some days it doesn't shine through.
I mean, they just looked like they were struggling into a lot of those rounds. It's unfortunate. Obviously, we did see a huge resurgence, at least on their T side. Na'Vi certainly choked for a couple of those rounds. But I'd say the whole way through, if we think about the fact from that Dust 2 game, where there were a lot of question marks about Na'Vi, weren't quite sure how they were going to perform. We come fresh into Inferno, and what was it, 11 rounds on the spin for them at first, without dropping a single round. They looked unreal. The way they were playing, it was perfect. We only really started to see them lose rounds when they decided to stop going B. Madness, Ben. Madness. But that's the way map 2 has gone. 16-10 is the final scoreline. It was 16-11 for forZe on Inferno. And Mirage is the final bout we will have between the both of them. Obviously, this has been a best of 3, so it's the last chance saloon. Seems like this map is set to start in 8 minutes' time. Definitely tune back in for that then. We'll be going for a short break. This time, actually, a short break. Hopefully, if there's no more technical issues, we'll keep you updated, of course, with what goes on there. But we do hope this one will continue on, as right now the form of both teams. Good. Thank you for joining us so far. Of course, this is the CIS Cup qualifier to see which team is making it to the Blast European 2020 Showdown. Will join us once we're ready for the next game that is going to be Mirage. Break. Hello everyone and welcome back as we are ready to kick off the final map here in the series. Thank you for staying with us over the course of this one. We understand, of course, there has been a couple of delays here and there. These are the odds for the map, though, that we will throw up on screen now, of course, as you can see. The favourites up, and we'll be going with this one. Currently one map a series, one map per piece, rather, between the both of them. Let's see who will take the decider. Where we're going. Ooh. Face crack, he's going straight down. Destroyed by the Glock. A beautiful opening frag coming from Bit. Look at the angle that's in play here as well. This is quite cheeky. Just start on top of the ledge, listening out. He'll hear the player towards window. This could be absolutely disgusting if there's an opportunity for him to live it large from this position. The bomb's gone down as well. Unfortunately, no. He won't be able to. Flit spotted him, and he flicked straight to his head to eliminate it.
Yeah, not quite working out for him. 2v3 though. Kit on Almeza, he could just stick it. Staying on the bomb, defusing, but they're not going to stop him, that's it. Oh wait! He got him right in the last second! That was awfully close, but it doesn't matter. That was... Ooh. Jeez.
I mean, that's certainly one way to start off a pistol round, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to think back to like this pick in general, right? So, it's very rare that I see forZe play Mirage too much. But they've got a good history of playing it in terms of like HLTV and everything. Yeah. So like wins over like OG, for example, 16-8 over OG, which that's a considerable win. It just doesn't feel like I see it that often from them. They beat Fnatic on this map as well during Pro League. So it is a good map for them. It's just a case of, does that matter too much when you're facing domestic rivals? I'm not too sure.
Well, time will tell. This series has been very hard to predict the entire way through. It's been back and forth of both of them in a constant power struggle of who's been looking effective. Right now then, 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. Deagle, full buy basically coming out for Na'Vi, just a deco across the board. And he one man without the Deagle, which makes sense. He wants to get the AWP in place. There's no reason for him to force him for anything. Dilly, Topper. He has been pretty good at hitting some of these disgustingly good shots. He do it again? That is the big question mark. He knows Alamaz is there. XC Power has actually been shot down to 1 HP towards the A site in the meantime.
Naughty little bit of damage there. I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually a 1D across the map. Because it doesn't do, 100 damage every single time, right?
Yeah.
So that's an entirely possible situation. But Bit actually just eliminates him fully as well. So this is a 3v5. It's not going great for forZe. Jerry's low and he has to rotate towards B. This could be really bad.
It could be absolutely awful. Alamazda needs to annihilate them with the MP5, though, as he's trying to run amok. Will cause a bit of a mockery. Guns down 2 of them. The assist from Jerry is perfect, but unfortunately the pistols will bite back. They leave a dent in the CT side, and it's all up to Face Crack to salvage it. He's done a ton of damage, and he finds the final frag. Way too close for comfort. With just 6 HP, he stands his ground and defends the bomb site, denying them entry onto B. Picking that round up. So they go 2-0 so far here on the opening few rounds, but they have been awfully close each and every time. A much worse buy as well for forZe going into this round because of how many players have been surviving them. They don't have a lot of money to work with, so they've had to basically get the boot sale buy.
I was going to say, they're quite fortunate to actually, take that round as well. Really good place by Face Crack. He'll get that kill and he can actually exit as well, or hold the area if need be. But the main thing really is the fact that they had 2 players towards B. They got, 3 kills between them and damage as well in that last round. Very fortunate to take it. And I consider they had a weak buy as well. They make some initiative plays, and they've got a man lead. The question is, can they actually hold on to it as well?
Jerry swinging out towards mid early on, really taking the firefight quite offensively against them. Only a single frag that he can pick up. They contain the situation. Leave it on a 3-on-3. Make that a 3-on-2, in fact. Kappa Chow. Slammed into by Face Crack. The adjustment from Face Crack, though. He exposes himself towards ramp, giving them just enough leeway to get a counter pick. They can then move up towards the bomb site. Alamazda, he loves this MP5, using it quite proficiently. Unfortunately for him, that HE does nowhere near enough damage. Just a small tidbit. That one will be better, and certainly the follow-up frag will. Then the 1-on-1. The Molotov. forces the P because he has the swing. That's it. He's done it.
That grenade, I'm still just kind of boggled about that.
I think it got stuck on top of the box. It must have been the clipping because it looked like it went far enough.
I think it went onto the firebox, like as in just a bit too far. Because the boxes aren't exactly like, it's not like they're flat surfaces entirely. Right? There's some gaps on them. Yeah,
because they did recently fix, of course, the way the grenades work on stairs with how the map geometry affects that. But I don't know if that applies to the way the boxes are designed. Because obviously, nades have always been kind of a weird one for the way some map geometry can just break them entirely.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. See how it goes though. Navi Junior, they do lose that round. It's another plant though, so you're stuck in a situation where you want to keep buying. Just about ahead of the Molotov there. Here they go.
Ooh, a couple of shots into the back. Topper, 7 HP. Slain by the USP. Lit. Sticking to his guns, quite literally. He'll keep this pistol out. Jump spot up. In the meantime, Jerry's done all the damage. 2 frags with the M4 as he slaughters them. RB Jr. are sent to sleep once more. 4-0 now.
That was actually a really cheeky play by Flit. So the reason he had his USP out, he was spamming through the wall as they engaged. So obviously no bullets left in that. But just then, right at the end, he jumps up to grab an AK, but throws the first one he actually finds to his teammate. So they maximise getting as many AKs as possible. Cheeky little bit of play.
Smart stuff. Taking it the next mile. Oh, Jerry gets the read. Seen a couple of players towards the A site. Obviously, they've got so much more of a range advantage to slay with here that there shouldn't be much done by Navi Junior. Only 4 players alive. Scrap that. Only 3 as Top has tackled. Likelihood of them really doing a lot of economic damage is relatively.
Yeah, I think Jerry did see him towards Unbus just then, but I'm not entirely sure. The Rat Eagle's still in hand, so I guess you can't exactly like rule out some damage. It's just like, yeah, based on the current circumstance, you don't expect it.
Don't expect it,
yeah.
But I mean, it's certainly coming up. Got the 1 frag on Jerry, very nearly a follow-up. If they would have taken down XE Power, that's when it would have started to get our eyebrows raising. Instead, just 1 man that remains. Eagle in hand for him. Towards top mid, he's going to peek out. I mean, if XE Power oversteps the mark, yeah, he could just get his head blown off. Can they recover the AWP? Flit needs to make the jump. Doesn't have too much time, but luckily he grasps it just before the end of the round. Or that would have been a very costly blunder.
Yeah, it's potentially a bit scary towards the end there. But nevertheless, does get it. So 2 kills with the Eagles in hand there, not too bad. Let's see then. 5-0 for forZe. Bit unusual to see the CT side winning, of course. Not used to that, are we?
Not with the way these games have been going, absolutely not.
So A smokes is the strategy coming through here. The Molotov landing on the balcony. I'm pretty sure that's meant to go under, not on top, but nevertheless, maybe the Patcher's lining up the correct one. Which does go all the way under.
Lit. He evades the flashbangs. Perfectly poised for the run out. Though, it was a great start to the round, but they've certainly started to lose their grip. They're sliding. Oh, through the smoke. XE Power, the no-scope as he lands the shot. That's absolutely ridiculous. The entire round had been plunged into chaos, but the response is just pure lunacy. He lands the no-scope, the cleanup kills come through from his teammate, and they've still not dropped a round. 6-0, forZe. They're doing their best Navi Junior impression from what we saw in Inferno.
Very bizarre one, that's for sure. I mean, getting the chance to actually land that, and it basically caused complete disarray on the Navi Junior side. They were just completely unsure what to do. The losing players through smoke. Let's see if there's anything different then. Flit gets dropped by Bit this time towards, I believe, short. Yeah, so Bit's up here already. Has armor. There's armor on most of these players, like for Guspada. XE Power, though, covering that B site. Ooh, okay. So we're in a bit of a weird situation here. So 4v3. Armor on 3 of the T's. But there is good utility on the actual retakes come through. Those Molotovs combined, so nice.
That was really nicely done. That's one of the big things about this round. Even though Na'Vi Jr. take it and they win that, the Molotov play was sick. Get one deep down over towards the truck, one ahead of it. He literally nearly burnt entirely. I think he lost 80 HP having to sprint his way through both of the Molotovs. I'm surprised they were able to recover so well. But finally around for Na'Vi Jr. They take it 6-1. They do have an AWP to play with as well. The rest of them delegated down to the 2 M4s and the 2 AKs. XC Power finally starting to get punished a bit as well. Not allowed to be as audacious into the openers, into these rounds anymore. He takes a ton of damage, losing 40 HP and losing the opening shot as well. Couldn't actually get that kill.
Yeah, not able to actually give themselves an advantage again. We'll keep an eye on the actual opening duel side of things. So currently 4-3 in favour of forZe. Nothing too crazy to write back about. But there has been 3 1vx situations in the first 7 rounds, all going in favour of forZe so far. So when you think about number-wise, like how that is, it really doesn't surprise you why Na'Vi have been buying into these rounds over and over again. Because the money on the actual forZe side is very close to breaking.
Face crack detected as he oversteps his boundary there towards Connector. Bit rips his way through him, banging him through the wall. Topper as well joins into the party. Bit's eliminated. There's only 3 CTs remaining. One of them is in a pretty good angle, but unfortunately he doesn't really have a weapon of mass destruction. Instead, it's just that 5-7. Alamaza rotates round towards CT with the M4. Makes a ton of damage from that nade as well, actually. And that's probably it. That's the save call made. Just run. Exit frags could be on the cards for Jerry. That's probably the best case.
Yeah, he needs to find a primary weapon, doesn't he? That's the main thing. He only has the 5-7. But Capacho, I mean, you could catch him off guard if you were to come around at a certain timing, but I don't think that'll be the case this time.
Facial expression on that 5-7 is how he's going to be feeling. A rather stern look after Capachow jumps up, shoots him in the face.
I'd actually never seen that skin before.
No, it's quite a nice one, isn't it? Is that from the CS20 or? It looks quite nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess so.
Seems like one of the ones they would have thrown in.
Let's see then. So they save the 2 weapons. They don't want an M4. The loss bonus isn't really there, so you can't really buy behind it. So you're just hoping that the AWP and the M4 can actually make some work happen. However, they're not actually going to be pairing up here. They're actually just going to allow XC Power to solo towards B, which, to be fair, not too surprising. And the M4, I think they boosted him behind triple. I really do like that boost. I think it's a really underrated one. And there's another boost inside ramp coming through. This is... I've never seen this one before. Very loud, though.
Is
very, very loud.
Causing a ton of noise. Alamaza from on top of the box. Hoping to be on top of the world into the round if he's given an opportunity to slaughter them when they push in. Very slow but steady round coming out at the minute, Ben. They're grouped up. They do have a lot of mid control. And they are being able to push in towards the B-bomb side. That appears to be the play they want to go for. You lose one player. Bits gets taken down. Very low as well. A bit of lag on the feed at the minute.
Yeah.
Not ideal. Hopefully this will get resolved soon.
I mean, the round is basically done anyway. It's just a case of do they actually recover the gun, which Flick does. So you can see he's managed to get that M4 into ladder. XC Power does drop, so they'll probably need to recover his AWP as well, but it's basically just a case of trying to keep those 3 guns they did get their hands on. Obviously, Almaza being the one saving from the previous round, so he has armor. Facecrack does find a kill into B apartments, though, which could be a bit of a difference maker. That was onto Gaspara's one. He did have the AWP, but unfortunately for Facecrack, I believe does get taken down.
Alamaza gets one on the exit, at least.
So they recover the 3 weapons. Not too bad. looking to the next one, that you can see Navi Junior, they're building up quite a bank because they're not losing too many people when they do win these rounds either.
Hopefully this will be resolved soon, guys. I'm having a look. Not too sure what end this is on, as it is lagging quite a lot. We'll try and see if we can get this fixed for you as soon as possible. Very sorry about this. Not too sure what is going on here.
Yeah, a bit of a radio broadcast to some degree.
It is.
Or a bit of a fancy PowerPoint presentation. Either way.
Really taking the detail at 1 frame a second, though.
XE Power actually got the entry as well as a second kill, advancing further up mid. Players in Navi Junior were actually stuck in underpass, so they couldn't really get the trade, especially just as they get out. The players on forZe's side retreat fully. So 5v3. I'm trying to think, did you ever have to make any PowerPoint slideshows in school at all? Because I'm trying to think if you actually had to do like full presentations with it. Because I remember having to do a really, really ridiculous one, which was like 20 slides long.
I didn't really know. I mean, this has certainly filled me in, though. This has brought me up to date for life.
Of course.
Yeah.
So looks like it's going to be a B play.
Potentially, from what we can see.
It's been, this was a very long one. There we go. So Jerry actually got killed towards bit. 2 players walking into his B. I'm assuming Almeza should get one, but he doesn't actually get one. He gets taken down.
Again, sorry about this, guys. We are trying to get this resolved. As right now we do have the slowest game of Counter-Strike physically possible in terms of the frame rate we've got available to us here. Nevertheless, we will soldier on and keep you updated with what occurs to commentate this the best we can. I mean, it's hard, right? Because at least the thing is, if it was a radio cast, you'd still see what's going on, but we can't even see what's happening, Ben.
We're having to try and relay the same thing you guys see.
Yeah,
which is the difficult part about it, right? Anybody wondering as well, it's not your own, it's not your mobile, it's not your own PC, it's not your net. It's like this.
This is just what we are receiving right now. This is the only way we're getting the game.
Yeah.
Once this is fixed, hopefully it'll be back to normal. For the meantime, we're just going to have to deal with this. There's nothing else that can be done.
I think XE Power gets the entry there. No, he doesn't. He gets taken down.
Bits traded onto him, Ben. Madness. I bet that looked ridiculous. Bring on the next slide. Topper maybe going for a reload here. Oh no, face crack's dead. Look at his legs on that. Looking like a dolphin.
3v2 on the retake. Jerry did get the kill for Fit. Almeza actually assisting on the kill for Flit.
That's the round.
And that's the round.
There it is. Madness.
Yeah. So we might as well keep reiterating, this is the case of, obviously it's not a studio broadcast, it's production from home. We're on a live feed of the game.
That live feed is what's lagging. We're essentially streaming from that feed. So the issue is once the feed itself is resolved, all will be resolved. For now, it's just not.
For now, we've got a bit of a guessing game to some degree. When we see a freeze, it's like, what happens next? Like a weird magazine. You have to send in what you think happens next.
It's like the freeze frame at the end of an episode of Batman. Will Batman be able to stop forZe on their 8-round win streak? Who will get the first pick? Find out potentially at the end. It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
It does feel like
it's just getting worse.
But when you think about it, though, as long as it gets to like the worst possible, you might get to a point where it can only get better. That's
true. I mean, once we're at the bottom of the barrel, it can only physically get better. At this point, XE Power, he's got a pick. There has been a trade back in the downtime as well. So in the interim of that frame to the next one, we've seen another kill. It looks like there could be a fight on short here potentially, but they've stopped. Collaborate and listen. Alamaza's dead towards the B site. 3-on-3. It's all just frozen. It's all gone wrong.
It's all frozen. But there are B players actually on the site, and they do get the round. So it falls at 9 rounds on the board now. 9-3. We'll keep reiterating. Considering you can hear us very clearly, and the game's freezing, you know it's just on that end. It's not a case of the stream lagging itself. 9-3 though. I mean, forZe putting up a good fight. Navi Junior, they got the 3 rounds in a row, but since then there's not been too much to actually say or write home. Jerry, I believe he gets the opener there onto Onker. Yes, he does. 4v5 already. It's just Deagle buy. Nothing really to think about too much. Probably some damage on the cards, maybe. Capacho actually gets 2 1-digs there. Facewack and Exo. That probably looked sick.
I reckon it probably did, Ben. 4 on 3. Freeze again, of course. Molotov goes out. Jerry coming up towards stairs. He's probably pushed up the stairs by now. They're probably taking a couple of shots at him as well, I'd hazard a guess. I reckon when this comes back, maybe it'll be like a 1 on 4, something like that. This is probably the longest freeze we've had yet.
Yeah, this is quite a long one. This is very reminiscent of the Inferno one. Wouldn't be surprised if it just dropped for no reason fully.
This is the biggest freeze. Maybe
Right,
this could be a good omen.
3v4. You've got 3 players with armor. Based on what we're seeing here, we've got no Molotovs. They've already been used. Oh. Ah, it's gone.
The fee gone.
Mine's gone.
We're back.
Wait,
We're back. There we go. Have they fixed it?
Running. It looks like it's running.
Wait, all right. Yes. Massive pogs. There we go. Can I get a poggers in the chat for that one, boys? Working feed.
I'll give you a relay what happened based on HLTV. Jerry gets a kill on Capacho, Almeza gets 2, and then they defuse the bomb. Now we're live. We're back.
We're back. Looks like we've actually got a frame rate again. Oh, 1-0. Almost. Oh, this is mad. I can't. I mean, it's better. It's better than it was.
It is better.
So let's just hope that maybe it was just a few teething issues and it will stabilize out. Of course, this is just the feed that we're getting. There's nothing we can do, guys. We're sorry about this. Hopefully, it will stabilize itself. But for now, we're just going to have to roll with the punches that we're given, much like Navi Junior currently are, as they're just taking them on the chin. 10-3 in terms of the overall score. Flitz made his move. He's got behind them all. This could be a fantastic... What?
What?
That's ridiculous!
They were lining up so beautifully for him, and then suddenly one of them goes, I'll check behind. Bang! Oh, every angle that we see getting peaked is just getting destroyed. Jerry now coming behind, gets the kill. But 1v3 going through B apartments. This is probably the most unlikely possible 1v3 available.
Mate,
Save the up.
That's just mad. He should have owned everyone from behind them. They were lining up for him. Would have been the perfect spray. They wouldn't have realised where he was because the silence M4. Instead, owned. Owned. I don't know what to say. He's been wrecked. Just straight owned. You have been owned. Press 1 to confirm. Demo is free.
So Navi Junior get their first round in 4. So 10-4 will be the scoreline looking up towards that half. forZe will still have a bye for this remaining round as well at the end of the half too. So, I mean, all things considered, it looks like forZe, they got their footing back into the game entirely, right? It looks like they were just, even though they weren't getting the openings, they were still fighting back quite nicely. Let's see how it goes with the final round of the half, though. It looks like we have, we've stabilized.
Yeah, okay. It seems like things have actually finally recovered. Sorry about that, boys. Well, sorry about I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I'm still just blown away by that shot. That absolutely is taking me back a bit. Anyway, back into the forefront of the game. We're close towards the end of the first half here. 10-4. Bit pushing out with the Kalashnikov. Will be able to claim a frag. Face crack response. Quite an aggressive push up close towards CT ramp. D ramp, rather. For the initial frag that he picks up. Already, it's a 4-on-4.
4-on-4. XCPower really should have done better on the actual shot there. Missing a bit of an easy one, if I'm perfectly honest. So 4v4. Gus Barrett, he is watching this, but you don't expect a player to be on the city here watching television, do you? Almaze is just rocking his tunes. Yeah, Bit actually checks it, and it was still awfully close. Like, Almaze gets the kill, gets away, but he took a lot of damage for that.
Four versus 3 now. 50 seconds left on the clock. Capachow pushes out. He has the elevated angle, and he'll take the high ground fight onto Jerry, doming him. With a nice AK bullet right between the eyes. Face crack, good response as well. That's perfectly played. As he's able to keep them at arm's length. 3 frags into the round. An 11-4 half. I bet the mid portion was lovely. That's the way it's going to go, Ben, as they clean it up towards the end. This is the final map of the best of 3 as well. For anyone that's just joining us and absolutely confused about what on earth has been going on, there's a best of 3. forZe, they've got a map. Navi Jr. have taken a map. It was 16-11 on Dust 2 in favour of forZe. That was Navi's map pick. On Inferno, it was 16-10 in favour of Navi Jr. And that was forZe's map pick. We now come onto Mirage. We're into the second half, and this is the last chance saloon. This is the opening match for Group A here. GSL best of 3 the whole way through. Let's see where we go then. Straight back into the second pistol round. The push comes out as they get aggressive towards the A bomb site, leaping their way across. They've gone for the classic play. You drop both of the smokes, all of you push as a unit, you overwhelm the CTs, and you take the map control, and it's working very well. Face crack. He gets one frag off, but he was caught with his pants around his ankles as he was trying to reload his Glock. 2 players remain on the T side now for forZe. Exipower and Alamaza trapped playing their post plants. Can these 3 CTs make a meal out of this?
Let's see how it goes. The P50 from Exipower hasn't been seen, and will not really be seen. It's just destroyed. Kit is on bit. Does get on the bomb, and Capatro just absolutely destroys Almaza as well. So 11-5 is going to be the scoring as well. Might as well note as two. We've got another 2 best 3s after this as well. The next game coming up is Windstrike versus Espada, I believe, and that will be. I believe they said it will be 5 minutes from the end of this game. So, you know, anybody waiting for that game, not long for that, as soon as this one finishes, basically. And that'll be the same for the game following that as well. It's a system of we have to wait for the next one, no matter what. Decent buy from forZe, all things considered. Like, you know, they get the bomb down, which allows for them to go for the Galil, Mach 10, Deagles, Tech 9. Topa's the only player towards B here as well. The Execute's coming in. He needs to do some big work.
He certainly does with that UMP. He's got to make them pay the ultimate price as he hits the first with the face crack, bring around the Rosies. Jerry was ready for it. Flick with the Tech 9, tackles him. We're back into a 4-on-4. Aimed right in the smoke. This will fade a little bit faster for him, based on the way smokes are currently working. Curry adjusting around the angle. Right now, the Deagles are doing damage for the T side. The aggression could come back to bite them in the bottom, though. We're in squeaky bum time in this round, Ben. All of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 2, and those 2 Ts have been tackled, overthrown, and destroyed. As the response from Navi Jr. is flawless on the retake, they get themselves the 6th round. It goes 11-6 now in the grand scheme of the game.
11-6, a round that they probably should have won on the forZe side, if I'm honest. Like, a 4v4 post plant on that bomb site, you think, you know, it's kind of hard to get back in there. And because of the plant, they actually get another buy through. This is another classic case of chasing the economy. We'll see how it goes, though. Topo with a P90. That's
It's a bit of a tilter of a weapon, that bad boy. You can definitely cause a bit of frustration. It's like stubbing your toe, Ben. That's what the P90 feels like.
Pain. A lot of pain.
Pain, disappointment, and frustration.
All 3 of my middle names. Anyway. Getting onto the game. 11-6. It is still a buy. Exipower with the AWP towards A ramp. He's going to be looking to get that opening kill. Probably looking towards CT and perhaps triple at this stage. He is just outwardly facing some flashes coming over to allow for peaks to occur. Exipower gets completely blinded off that flash, and Gospada takes him down. So we saw a lot of that on Dust 2 and Inferno, didn't we? Exipower going for lone picks. Nobody there to trade him, nobody there to help.
Alamaza pass out the HE. That gives Face Crack the opportunity to swing out. He gets the kill. Face Crack is doing absolute work for the side of forZe into this round. And this could be them actually getting back, finding their form once more now on the T side of things on Mirage. 30 seconds left on the clock. The bomb will go down. Just as it gets planted, we see the retreat coming through for Bit. Joins his teammate towards the B bomb site. Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to see the P90 Punisher fire out a hailstorm of bullets just yet. But it doesn't look likely that we will see that weapon used in this round. It's just going to be the full save here for the 2 CTs. forZe don't really necessarily need to overextend and push for the kills either. It wouldn't be beneficial, because the risk they run of losing guns versus the reward they get from killing the CTs, just not worth it.
Yeah. So he has shot 1 bullet. I'm guessing that was to break the wooden like window thing going into the B site. So yeah, the secret weapon hasn't been revealed just yet. Just wait, if forZe hit them with a BXEC, that could absolutely just bang, really. Also, that was our feed earlier right there on the TV.
That's the way things were looking. Straight error messages across the board.
Yeah. Nevertheless, it's 12-6. forZe in a very good position. Topa's actually had quite a weak game. We did talk him up going into this third map, didn't we? Because he was the top performer, right? He's only got 5 kills right now. Maybe that's why the P90's come out. He doesn't feel like he's hitting his shots. This way he has more shots. More chance of landing.
All right, then.
It's actually got all the way through.
He takes a bit of damage early on. 27 HP left on him. Mostly going out towards the bomb site. Capchow firing down on the Deagle, but he can't actually land them. No gut punches. Bit's the only one that actually makes a mockery out of the T's on the CT side. He's able to respond. They're outgunned, they're outnumbered. And they're stuck into some treacherous angles, but Bit from Connector, how does he connect both of those shots? That's a monstrous play and brings them back into the forefront of the round. Disarray caused across the board for the T's. They're going to be panicking now. Jerry and XT Power, they can't put a wrong foot out of line. They can't afford to fluff their lines as Jerry swings, causes the distraction. Sure, he falls, but XT Power gets the final killing blow off. And forZe make it to 13 rounds.
13 rounds. Jerry getting 2 impactful kills there, swinging out of apartments. He completely negated Topa coming in originally, and then swings a second time, giving XT Power a chance to peek as well. 13-6. Looking like it might be the end of the series, really, now Junior. They're taking an eco here because they're going to buy it the next. Ooh, it looks like there might be a bit of an onslaught at mid. Complete white screen for Gospada there for a while, although it took a while for him to actually drop. There was a lot of spam through the smokes, rather than actual on the targets.
Surely this has got to be a 14th, right? You've got so much more of a range advantage. You've got all the stopping power in the world, the firepower they have. There's only USPs and P250s out for Navi Jr. They're running basically straight down a gauntlet as well towards middle. XT Power should have a field day here with the AWP. He's struggling to hit his shots, but luckily his teammates can do damage for him as they pick them all to pieces. Jerry gets the Glock out, sprays it in the face a bit. forZe get their 14th. 3 rounds on the trot for them, Ben, as they're finally starting to make some smooth moves on the T side of Mirage. Looking like they're going to try and 2-0, well, 2-1 the series here towards the end of our opening matchup.
Yeah, looking a lot more in control. This is very much like the forZe we saw in Dust 2 in the second half, really, isn't it? Like, at least like the second half performance on Dust 2 strictly there. Fast connector play coming out forZe. 2 players going into it, but there's actually 2 players on connector as well as a player on short here. Good retaliation from Navi Jr. The issue is, though, you dedicate so many players towards that mid control, you leave A bit empty. forZe get a chance to get all the way out, and the nade confirms that kill. 3v3 now.
2 versus 3. AK is going to be chucked ahead. Alamaza picks up the AWP. Hard scoped in towards CT. Looking for the push to come out. Knows he has to support Jerry. The issue is they're holding the crossfire. So even if Jerry gets one, the trade will come back through. As we expected, we're now plunged into this position. The benefit is the only aggressive utility they have is the 1 Molotov on Bit. Sure, he can throw that out, but Alamaza's leaving. He's set a course clean out of the bomb site. He wants to walk away. He's gotten out of there. As long as he keeps quiet till he gets out towards T-spawn, then he can start to make his moves. But what is his play?
I was going to say, one of the most common plays for anybody in a 1vx on this map when they're towards A to begin with is to actually just go back down ramp and come back through Palace, especially when they have an open hand. So this shouldn't be really too unheard of, but the CTs are already committing to this split up. Player spotting the CT? Ooh.
Yeah.
He needed to land that just had any chance.
Oh, look at his body flopping around on the floor.
Fully affected by it.
Yeah, nothing else to add to that one. Just quite an interesting ragdoll. 14-7 then. 7 rounds ahead for forZe at the moment. Oh, all right. They're sending the pain train in towards the B-bomb site. Let's see if it'll actually pull into the station, or if this is a first-class ticket, a match point for forZe. Playing up on the boosted position, just on the balcony. Got the MP9. Going up against the Mac-10 of Facecrack. He'll be the entry fragger into this, it seems. Obviously, they can flash him through. They can smoke over the site as well. And it's all about timing. They've allowed him to jump back up. He's just going to hold. Plays anti-flash on the wall. Here's the first one get out. No one else clears the angle. So they go 1 for 1 on the trades. Bit's playing underneath the window, but he doesn't get the kill, Ben. He just does damage.
And damage isn't actually the one that they want right here. They need kills from those B players. Especially when you have a chance like that. Power should get this kill, although he doesn't. Uncare gets it. Facecrack kills another player's was Kitchen. A lot of territory control. He had like 10 HP and he's got both of those kills towards market. Unheard of. And they actually take the round with 3 alive. 2 players down to what, 15 health, 9 health? Marvy Jr. This is probably the last round of the series here. This is series point now for forZe.
Look at the buy for Navi Jr. It's weak. It's fragmented. It's 2 Deagles, a 5-7, a CZ, and a singular Famous. That's all they have to try and keep the dream alive. Born to conquer, but destined to lose, it seems, in this series, Ben.
Straight A attack coming through. Facecrack. Very dedicated to the entry fragger role right there. Hold W no stop, that's for sure. A smokes have come in. There's a massive gap on this jungle smoke, but the plant will go down regardless. So let's see, there's no kit on the CT side, so this retake needs to be quick if it's going to happen. Smoke on the bomb already. They've got more smokes to add to it, so you could make a path all the way to that bomb and try and get on it. We've got Flip doing a Mighty Max rotate, that's for sure.
Oh, he absolutely is. It actually could be a critical play into the round as well, as he makes his move back over towards short. Obviously, the bomb's down in a position that will favour him, but he won't even need to get there. Just as he makes it to short, Na'Vi come up short into the round, and they lose it. Stolen away. forZe, they get success. They get the round. They get the series as they win 2-1 over Na'Vi Jr. here in our opening group game of Group A.
Yeah, a firm win when you consider that last map's performance, right? But, you know, across the series, it wasn't convincing from forZe. I was kind of disappointed more than anything, like, based on how they did perform. It'd be interesting to think about how they'll match up in the winners match, obviously, because we are using a GSL format. So the winner from this game, so forZe, they will face the winner of Winstrike versus Espada, which, when I think about the Road to Rio games, forZe failed to make it out of their group in that. They didn't even make the playoffs. So those teams were both teams that were actually in the Road to Rio as well. Winstrike made it to the playoffs. I'm just wondering, how does that work out? Like, you know, we'll see the winners match, I think, on Wednesday. Am I correct? Or was it tomorrow? I'm not too sure. I can't remember the schedule exactly.
I think we do have winners games coming up. We have one more. So we have the last game from Group B tomorrow, and then we get straight into the winner.
Okay. So next up is what? We've got like 10-minute gap, I think. 5-minute gap, something small like that.
So it looks like with the current schedule, the way things are set to go, the Winstrike Espada match will start at 3 minutes past 12 UK time. So it's currently 11:50 UK time. We have about 13 minutes until the next game, if all goes well.
Okay. So, you know, not much time between these matches anyway. So it's worth building that scenario, right? So Winstrike Espada, winner will face forZe, loser will face Navi Jr. And those games will be respectively, obviously, as the days go on. But just looking back, I don't know, it's a weird one because it's a 2-1 performance. Navi Jr. did better than I expected by a long margin.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, forZe disappointed. So it's like, which one do I favour more of those 2 points?
What's the bigger one? Also, what's repeatable, I suppose, in terms of like going forward, obviously, throughout the rest of the qualifier. At least as an opening best of 3, what we saw of it was actually a pretty damn good match. Like, it was definitely enjoyable. There was a lot of highlight moments coming out from either team. I'd say some of the ones that reign true, certainly for me, certainly come from forZe. 1v4 clutch we had in the pistol round of Inferno. A couple of interesting moments just thrown in throughout the entire thing. But Moving on to greener and better pastures then after this. Obviously, the next game we have coming up is Windstrike taking on Sparta. That is going to be our second game inside of Group A. That's another best of three. We're covering all best of threes today. So we have 2 more best of threes to go tonight. Tomorrow, we're back in with our second best of 3 from Group B, and then it will just be winners matches from that point forward. What we'll do is head over to a brief break. Obviously, this one is scheduled to start in around 10 minutes now. So stay tuned for that. All going well, that is when things should commence. We will be back in about 10 minutes for our next series of Windstrike taking on Sparta. Thank you for joining us so far.